You have taken the first step, so let's take the second step. Chen Qingtian paused, waiting for the fish to take the bait. Mahawk stopped and stopped swinging his sword. Turning around, I looked at Chen Qingtian curiously. The first step of training was completed, and I was about to start the second step of training. So the question is, what is the second step of training? The teacher is going to come up with something again. Is he going to pretend? Aren't you curious? Mahawk curled his lips. He said, hurry up, don't talk nonsense here. I don't want to hear nonsense, I just want to hear the content. Those who sell guanzi should be buried alive. Okay, I won't tease you anymore. The second step is words, stuck here. Not a story card, but a Chen Qingtian card. Stuck there, not moving. He doesn't say, but takes Mahawk to find a good place. After walking a long way, he came to a cliff. In the distance, there is a waterfall that pours water from top to bottom, creating a waterfall with huge impact. The bottom is not high, only 20 or 30 meters. From top to bottom, it doesn't feel like anything. That's where our second step of training will be. Mahawk frowned. Under the waterfall, brother, are you thinking too much? That place is not very dangerous. In the past, Mahawk often practiced there. Later, I felt that it was not very useful, so I gave up. When I came to this place again, I felt emotional. I haven't been here for a while. The waterfall is still the same, nothing has changed. Let's go. Jump down. Mahawk followed. He was not afraid, at worst he just fell together. However, he found that he was wrong. The person who fell was himself, Chen Qingtian, who did not fall. He descended slowly, his body hovering in midair. Fall down without raising a speck of dust, and himself, after landing, was covered in dust. Comparing the two, it is up to the judge. Mahawk frowned. Teacher, why didn't you tell me you can fly? Chen Qingtian blinked. Didn't I tell you? Mahawk shook his head. What do you say? Don't say anything. Make me look like a fool. Chen Qingtian patted him on the shoulder. It's okay, it's just a small problem. After speaking, the two walked towards the waterfall. Coming to the edge of the river, Chen Qingtian pointed at Mahawk. Go in. Stand below and swing your sword. What he swung was not a black knife, but an épée. This is the second step of your training plan. As for the purpose, Chen Qingtian did not say. Mahawk didn't ask, and walked over obediently. Standing under the waterfall, he looked up at the waterfall and choked up. Walking in, the water flowed down instantly, and his body bent. Gritting his teeth, holding on, it's nothing. Walk to the middle, stand, and find your own position. This place has the strongest impact and the best effect. Hold the épée, support it first, and then swing the sword. Above, a huge stream of water hits down. Clatter. His body was bent, and his head was about to touch his knees. He is still holding on, and he will be fine after getting over it. After the waterfall passes, the remaining water flow is nothing. Every once in a while, there will be a big wave. The law was figured out by Mahawk. Raise your hand, lift it up with difficulty, the weight of the épée, the impact of the waterfall, and the impact of the two. He raised his arm with difficulty. It was very difficult. It was already very difficult to keep the movement parallel to the ground. He gritted his teeth to resist the impact of the waterfall above. His body trembled, and he gritted his teeth. Now, even lifting it is a problem, let alone swinging a sword. Mahawk didn't complain, but persisted through gritted teeth. He won't say give up. Now, he wants to stand and resist. With more than 100 caddies, the force used is also different. He is really tired. It's different from coming in and resisting by yourself. At that time, there was no effort at all like now. Chen Qingtian stood looking at it from a distance, looking very happy, but unfortunately, he had no way to go to help. Nice waterfall and good impact. Mahawk was able to hold on, which was beyond my expectations. I thought he would have to fall a few times to get back on his feet. This kid, he has often come to this place to practice before. But you kid ignored the épée, increased the weight, and your burden increased accordingly. It's not that easy to fight, and the waterfall is also very big. It can't compare to the one on the red line, and it's bigger than the average waterfall. It's a good place. You can find this place if you look for it, and build a table and chairs on the spot. Build a small shed for yourself, and it will be a quick thing. To build these, for Chen Qingtian, it couldn't be easier. It didn't take an hour to build it. Sit under the shed and have fun. The teapot is ready. Turn on the fire, boil water, and drink tea. Enjoy it anywhere. Mahawk's eyes widened when he saw this. What the hell? I'm training, you're drinking tea. Even at home, there is everything. But here, why do you still drink tea? Where did you get your teapot? And it's scary how fast you built the shed. As far as proficiency is concerned, it can be seen that there must be a lot of exercise in normal times. Scary old man, a walking survivalist who knows a little about everything. Want a drink, Mahawk? Do you want tea? Mad at you. Mahawk was pissed off. This man came to stimulate himself. I practice hard, and you, sit and enjoy. You're not human, at least you do some serious things, I don't even know how to. He took out the fishing rod and fished. I don't know where the fishing rod is hidden, damn it. He has everything, but he can't see anything on his body. Where to hide, rods, craft in situ, lines and hooks are his own. Fishing. Enjoy the tranquility of the moment comfortably. Mahawk. You cow. Convinced. No matter where he goes, he can find time to enjoy. Nothing is impossible to enjoy. Fishing and drinking tea are more enjoyable than professional fishermen. He really came to enjoy it. By the way, stimulate yourself. Heartbroken, Mahawk was distracted, and with a plop, went into the pool. People are dumbfounded. He was washed down, it's too embarrassing. Things that never happened, today, lose face. Hey, Mahawk, want to come over for a cup of tea? Tisk tisk. What a miserable look, come, the old man will help you. Stretch out the fishing rod, that's all. There is not much help, even if it is to reach out. Mahawk pushed the rod away, and he could go ashore by himself without help. Sullen, he returned to his original position and continued to bear the impact. Persevere, not swinging the sword for the time being. Gradually become familiar with the power of the waterfall and the power of the épée. The combination of the two powers is terrifying. Stand firm. Above, come on big guy. Above the head, a piece of wood struck down. A huge log fell towards his body. Boom. The man and the wood fell together. Splashing high waves and fishing has become a luxury. Oh, who has fallen, so pitiful. The mocking person is always there, it's just when he mocks you. Now, at this moment, today, the old man was taunting him. Unable to refute and have nothing to say, Mahawk lowered his head and silently climbed ashore. He really wanted to slap Chen Qingtian across the face and tell him not to talk nonsense. If you can't do it, you can't do it yourself. The one who loses face is always yourself. Returning to the original position, Chen Qingtian continued. Mahawk, didn't you say that you used to practice here often? That's it? When my son was 10 years old, he was already stronger than you are now. You can't do this, your body is too weak. By the way, you are usually alone, do you secretly solve problems with your hands? Miss Wu is not good at solving problems. You look good. Compared with the old man, you are a little worse, but you are not bad. If you go out and look for it, you can still find your wife. Do you want to rely on the fifth girl for the rest of your life? Mahawk. Mahawk, with a question mark on his head, didn't quite understand what Chen Qingtian meant. When he raised his hand, Mahawk understood what the 5 girls were. Suddenly, he became angry and opened his mouth to curse Chen Qingtian. In the sky, another big shock came. Gritting his teeth, grabbing the ground, his body tensed up. Crash. Waterfall crashes, rides a wave, and Mahawk makes it through. Only then did he speak. Fart, don't talk nonsense. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not empty, I'm in good health. Also, what is your son? 10 years old, can he do this? I don't believe it. Mahawk definitely doesn't believe it. You want to give your son a good face. Can you find a good reason? This really doesn't work. Doing this at the age of 10, you thought your son was Garp. Ahem. Yes, my son is Garp. But Chen Qingtian wouldn't tell Mahawk. Unexpectedly, this kid actually hit the mark. HMPH, don't pretend, I can't believe what you say. Impossible, no one will believe. Mahawk buried his head, and after refuting one by one, he felt refreshed. It's too early for you to mock me. Chen Qingtian shook his head. Now, to be honest, no one believes it. Hey, it's too difficult. Lunch. Settled here. At noon, eat fish. Nothing else to eat. Chen Qingtian was too lazy to move, and wanted Mahawk to do it. This kid can't cook fish. It should be said that it was a mess. It was burnt. Chen Qingtian decided to do it himself. He didn't want to eat burnt fish. After eating, continue exercising. In the blink of an eye, half a month has passed. Distance. 3 people, walking on the hurried ground. A barren article. Around them, the dry, scorching sun constantly evaporated the moisture from their bodies. The three hungry people stopped and looked into the distance. Dorag, how long will we be there? Soon. How soon is it? You've said that many times, Ivankov asked aloud. His attitude was slightly bad, and he realized that he had spoken loudly, so he quickly covered himself with laughter. Haha, Dorag, can you give me the exact time? We've been walking for a month, and I'm dying of thirst. Ivankov pushed the big man next to him, remained motionless and said nothing. Hey, bear, can you say a word? Shang raised his hand and said lightly, do you want me to send you away? Taking off the gloves, Ivankov looked at the unlovely palm with the meatball printed on it, and shook his head. You two teamed up to bully me, it's too bullying. Believe it or not, I turned you into a woman, bear. Ivankov is not afraid of bears. You have meatball fruit, I have hormone fruit. At best I fly away, you, become a woman. How? Bear, put away your paws and put on your gloves. Ivankov, it will be here soon, don't worry, listen to the boss, you were right. I, Tyrant Bear, am a big fan of the boss. Don't question my loyalty, I won't be with you. Dorag said with relief. Okay, Ivankov, don't make trouble, we will be there soon. A little tribulation is not enough to upset our hearts. The more difficult and dangerous it is, the more it will make us stronger. What are these? Just a little hot. They can still hold on, and they can still go. If it doesn't work, let the bear take us away. 3. Keep walking, you are on dry earth. And go and go. Hey, Mahawk, can you do it? It's been so long, you still can't swing a sword. 100,000 times, one time must not be less. Don't think about being lazy, can you speed up? The old man doesn't want to stay here anymore, the old man wants to go back and lie down. Watching it every day is exhausting. Even if you do nothing, people, you will be bored. Fishing for half a month, eating fish for half a month, my mouth is pale. When I see fish, I don't want to eat it. Chen Qingtian misses red wine, the taste of steak, and exercising with him every day, so he can't have a good meal. Mahawk doesn't care about Chen Qingtian, if you can't hold on, you can go back. He, who will never go back, must have conquered the falls. After practicing for half a month, he got used to the power of the waterfall. Swinging the sword, the number of swings per day is limited, and it is impossible to complete the task of 100,000 times. Even 1/10 of it can't be done, the resistance is too great, and it can't be the same as usual. It is already very good to be able to complete 10,000 times a day. Today, he just started, and found something wrong, the waterfall got bigger. The increase in water flow caused the waterfall above to become larger, and the impact force doubled. It's really time to come, don't say 10,000 times, 5,000 is not bad. Facing the first wave of shock, he quickly gave up 5,000 tasks and cut down 1,000 tasks. I don't know if it will work, but the waterfall is getting more and more ferocious. It's getting bigger, and the wave is getting bigger and bigger. Chen Qingtian climbed up to the sky, glanced at it, and smiled all over his face. I have good news for you, Mahawk boy, you are lucky, your boy's luck is really good, look at the above, wow, it's scary. The water flow above gradually increased, which was terrifying. For the next period of time, it is estimated that this will be the current. Conservative estimate doubled. There are many unpredictable situations, and they may continue to increase. By then, Mahawk's practice will be even more sour. God is really attached to him. Look, if he wants to practice, the current will come to help him. I really envy you, Mahawk boy. God gave you a big gift to help you improve your strength quickly. He also said that you are not the real son of God. Mahawk. Can I not? What do you say? It's not your decision, you can't help but don't want it. What God gives you, you must want it, and you have to want it if you don't want it. Enjoy obediently, young man, ha ha ha. Is it love, or torture? Is it a reward or a punishment? Who knows? Boom. The crashing waves, the impact, the waterfall, spectacular, magnificent. Huge waves washed over Mahawk's body, bent, head, and knees stuck together. Hands, hanging down, the épée needs to be held in both hands to stabilize the body. Move a little and the Mahawk will go down anytime. In order not to let someone laugh at him, Mahawk chose to grit his teeth and persist. Recite silently in your heart, it will pass soon, hold on for a while. However, let him down. The wave has no tendency to disappear, but is getting bigger and stronger. The waves washing over the body have been upgraded to another level, the body is more curved. The eyes couldn't be opened, the water kept flowing in, and the mouth choked up several saliva. I don't know how long it took, he thought the water flow was going to end. Stand up and exhale. The old man in front suddenly smiled, and pointed at the top. Mahawk boy, be careful, the big one is coming. It is definitely not easy to be called a big wave by Chen Qingtian. Mahawk didn't have time to look up, he heard the sound of the waterfall getting bigger. Like the sound of bombing, it kept coming. Damn it. With a word of abuse, he stabilized his body and took a step back. Finding a better position, he held the épée in both hands, and a burst of strength erupted from his body. Come on, give it all to me. Adapted to the power of the waterfall, he has his own experience. How to resist, how to use strength to resolve the impact. Waterfalls also have their own rules and impact drops. At each drop point, just break them. I'm going to fight back. Can't let them overwhelm me. He couldn't let the waterfall continue to wash himself away. The days of falling down again and again have passed, and now he does not allow himself to fall down. His eyes are sharp, and his concentrated breath concentrates his hands. Then, instill it on the blade of the épée. Concentrate on it and lift it up slowly, even if the waterfall hits the body and makes his hands hang down. Under tremendous pressure, Mahawk raised his hand. Straight up against waterfalls, falling waterfalls and épées straight up, touch. Drink. With a cry, Mahawk opened his eyes, and the water flowed, isolated around his body. His épée was pointed at the middle point of the waterfall. The point with the strongest impact is also the most vulnerable point. Take a rankar, at the moment, to break open. Give it a go, Mahawk, and he won't let the waterfall wash over him again. Open. The sword hangs down. People, follow and fall. With a bang, it fell into the water. With the waterfall flowing away, he failed. Against the waterfall, failed. The forces of nature are strong, and human power is difficult to fight against. When he got up, his face was dark. Unexpectedly, he still couldn't do it. Is there something wrong with him, or something wrong with the waterfall? Chen Qingtian said, You, hurry up. First of all, the strength is not concentrated enough. If you want to fight against the waterfall, you must concentrate your strength and not disperse it. Even if you disperse it a little, it will not work. Second point, you have to pay attention to the flow rate and dispersion of the waterfall. A waterfall that seems to be very strong, in fact, when it washes away, its power will disperse. With a rankar, it's not that easy to do. Observe carefully, don't worry. Seeing Mahawk's bewildered expression, Chen Qingtian was helpless. Standing not far from the waterfall, he held a branch in his hand. The water droplets, touching half a meter away from him, were all blocked by a layer of energy and fell. He raised his hand. Watch carefully, Mahawk boy. You look up at the flow rate of the waterfall, no matter how big the waves are, they have the same law. Raise your hand. Strength, gathered at the tip of the branch. Just swipe. The waterfall, with a splash, parted. Split into two. From the bottom to the top end, separated. The water flows, rushing towards both sides. The breath can't dissipate for a long time. After a while, the waterfall closed. Back to normal, and Chen Qingtian, back in position, having a good time. The division is completed in a blink of an eye, no fancy tricks are required, and there is no strong burst of energy. So casually, just so casually, his attack is so terrifying. Mahawk didn't even bat an eye, he saw it, and because he saw it, he thought it could be done. In that scene, you can see how to use force, how to cut, and how to point a rankar. Every detail is engraved in my heart. He sat down to think, recalling Chen Qingtian's every move in his mind. Every movement is watched very carefully. Recalling it dozens of times, hundreds of times, he still hasn't seen the trick. Continue to recall, simulated thousands of times, he seems to have a clue. Walk into the waterfall and feel the washing of the waterfall. Raise your hand and type out your feelings. Take the point rankar, the waterfall, a little apart. About 10 centimeters. Unable to compare with what Chen Qingtian did, he showed joy and made the first step by himself. In the next second, he, who was happy, was washed away. Undaunted, Mahawk continued to get up. Sit down and think. Thinking and practice together are indispensable. After simulating countless times, he stood up and felt that he had the confidence to separate. Go in, split. Made a little progress. I am happy with every bit of progress. Not so far. Soon, it will be done. Cuts waterfalls with ease, no other power required. It is purely the strength of a swordsman, he needs to learn this move. Flat A is the big move. I won't talk nonsense with you. I will give you a flat A, and you will die. Gorgeous moves are not as good as the use of this kind of power. Play the strongest attack with the least amount of power. Just imagine, you fight the enemy for a long time, and you don't take a breath, and the other side is no longer able to die. Keep playing and the balance of victory will be in your favor. Physical strength, endurance, and a combination of various factors, the last survivor is the winner. Stay strong and the victory will be yours. Falling down again and again, getting up again and again. Having found hope, Mihawk is no longer lost. He wants to be like the old man, simple, easy, and cut. The old man who exposed his strength again and again shocked Mihawk again and again. His strength is really terrifying. Swordsmanship is also very strong. Mihawk gradually believed what the old man said before. He can surpass Jianhao and Daishanhao casually. In his words, Jianhao is just a trivial matter. Falling down countless times, time flies by quickly. In the blink of an eye, another half a month has passed. He didn't know how many times he fell. The waterfalls here are deadly. Mihawk's strength and body are both stronger. Every fall is a failure again and again. Every swordsman will encounter failure. Take it easy. Mihawk is not the type to allow himself to fail. Failure makes you stronger. The horror of nature made him refresh his understanding of them again. Manpower is ultimately invincible against nature. Standing under the waterfall, Mihawk's eyes were closed tightly, and his body was bearing the impact of the waterfall. Countless times of washing, these days, he has suffered a lot here. Work hard. Even if you want to be lazy, every time you fall down, you will be ridiculed by the old man. The old man always took pleasure in mocking him. Once he fell down, mocked him, and had fun with himself. The way the two got along gradually changed the direction of the wind. A taunt, a black face, no rebuttal, silent response. The more you taunt that person, the more excited you are. If you don't refute, I will double the taunting. I will use all kinds of words to stimulate you. As a young man, he must have a breath of energy in his heart, instead of being lifeless all the time. Mihawk is the kind of person who can't be shaken, lifeless. You can't see him happy or excited. It's always the same face, it doesn't change. Occasionally he showed a smile, that's all. These days, his personality has improved a bit, and he is not as sullen as before. Gather breath. Essence gathered and reached a peak. Chen Qingtian stood up and watched Mihawk's movements. Oh, drink. This wave is probably okay. This kid's talent is really terrifying. People who are naturally suitable for sword practice are just different. God appreciates the food, others are not envious. Chen Qingtian has a taste in his heart. He has worked so hard and cared for so many people to get to that point. That boy Mihawk, hey. So Roger, so Mihawk, one in both. Blowing Chen Qingtian's heart again and again. Fortunately, he lived a long time. As strong as Roger, no matter how good the talent is, it is not useless, and it is not dead in the end. If you die, it's useless to give you the whole world. Long life, boil you to death. 1 or 2, don't be shy. If anyone dares to make a fool of themselves, the old man will hang around for decades, and when you are about to die, the old man will come out to mock you. Think about how happy you are. Drink. The sword energy is vertical and horizontal. Mihawk's momentum reached a peak, and then broke open. His sword is different. His whole person is different. Like a sword, all the breath condenses together. Man and sword unite. A Pei and him, mutual achievement. At that moment, the waterfall parted, split into 2. Stop flushing. He, standing below, looked up angrily, and posed a cool pose. After everything was done, he jumped out. The waterfall falls again. He, standing in front of Chen Qingtian, showed off his achievements. No need to speak. Let me show you. The smile on the corner of his mouth brought a trace of tenderness to his serious face. It's incredible, you actually realized it so quickly. Applause, appreciation. For some people, Chen Qingtian applauds generously. He would applaud any outstanding student. Whipping and rewards go together. You can't always whip and you can't always reward. Mihawk lifted his head and stood upright. He who has been praised is very embarrassing at the moment. Skill, strength, and your spirit, everything counts. Swordsman. What you cultivate is your spirit. Your spirit represents everything about you, followed by your skills and so on. Now, your spirit, energy, and spirit are tempered as one, and you can control it at any time. Your swordsmanship has already begun, Mihawk boy. To temper one's spirit, it is difficult to temper one's spirit. Everyone's training method is different, and their understanding is also different. The same approach worked for him and didn't work for anyone else. Mahawk is a pure swordsman, focusing on tempering his spirit. Others, he can comprehend by himself. There is no need for Chen Qingtian to say more. After the foundation was built, more than half of his mission was completed. Mahawk cupped his hands in thanks. Thank you, teacher. Haha, it should be. This is what the teacher should do. Chen Qingtian waved his hand. Mahawk boy, the rest of the cultivation depends on yourself. The old man can do so much. What you lack now is to experience the baptism of blood. Teacher can't help you with this. Your task is almost complete. Chen Qingtian also taught everything that should be taught. Mahawk shook his head. He asked, Teacher, are you leaving? There is reluctance. Despite being tortured and ridiculed, Mahawk knew it was for his own good. Now that I understand it, everything, thinking about it now, is so ridiculous. The teacher is the one who accompanies him through loneliness. Now, he seems to want to go. Mahawk said, Don't leave for now, train with me for a month first. A good opponent is hard to come by. Mahawk doesn't want to lose, and needs to squeeze out the remaining value. You have tortured me for so long, playing with me for a month is not a loss. Chen Qingtian's eyes widened. Didn't he, Mahawk boy, you are overthinking me by pulling wool on me? Forehead? Touching his head, he hesitated and said, Mahawk, are you sure you want to hit? This old man will not hold back, and I don't want to hit you. Mahawk said to himself, Don't be afraid, teacher, you go all out and torture me hard. HMPH, beat me up if you have the ability. The me I am now, not the me I used to be. If you want to beat me up, you have to weigh your own strength. After realizing the new ability, Mahawk's strength has improved by leaps and bounds, and it has doubled several times. Now he is swollen, and no one pays attention to him. Even Chen Qingtian is just his sparring. You are a sparring partner, not an opponent. Chen Qingtian could tell that Mahawk was swollen. No, we can't let him continue to swell, he must be educated. Otherwise, he really thought he was strong. Okay, Mahawk, you have to pay attention, you can't break the old man. The old man is old, it's not what it used to be. One bite at a time, one by one, admitting that his strength has weakened. Don't worry, teacher, I will pay attention and I won't break you. Mahawk comforted Chen Qingtian, saying that he would keep his hand. But in his heart, beat him hard, and get a sense of accomplishment from him. Thus, the battle began. The next period of time is a wonderful training time. Both of them are very satisfied. Chen Qingtian was the most satisfied, he vented his depression these days all at once. Mahawk was strong and was able to resist his beatings time and time again. I fell down several times, but I still insisted on getting up and being beaten. I have strong perseverance. This period of time was the most miserable time for Mahawk. He was blinded by eating lard. He believed the old man's words. He was old and couldn't move anymore. He wanted to let himself go. Let go of your sisters. He was ruthless and powerful. He thought he could fight against him. It turned out that the strength of the old man was terrifying, and he couldn't bear a few swords. When the sword came down, he had to hold the black knife in both hands to resist, his hands trembling every second. It was originally a few days, but it was extended to a month by the old man. It's rare to meet a person who can resist. How can I let it go? Mahawk is not an empress, they must be taken care of carefully. Against Mahawk, Chen Qingtian used a little skill, fist and sword, torturing Mahawk to death. In the days that followed, Mahawk was afraid of seeing the old man and dared not have anything to do with the old man. When going out, be careful of the old man, maybe a certain old man is strong. A month later, respectively Mahawk, Chen Qingtian continued to wander. After beating Mahawk for a month, he feels refreshed, and all the uncomfortable places are comfortable. There was no back pain, and I was able to go up to the 5th floor in one breath. I don't feel dizzy, and I can hit people from 30 meters away. Before Mahawk left, he wanted to get revenge, but he didn't expect that he was the one who was beaten. The old man's swordsmanship is heaven-defying, powerful, and unrivaled. In front of him, his own moves appear so powerless and weak. Having broken through, he is still a child in front of Chen Qingtian, a child who has not grown up. All thoughts, under the gaze of those eyes, have nothing to hide, and everything has been seen through. The direction of the attack, how to attack next time, where to attack, whether to sneak attack, all are seen through. His thoughts, his every move, are all in the calculations of others. He couldn't beat it, even if Mahawk knew about observation hockey. What he didn't know was that an old man's observation hockey was so powerful that he couldn't escape his prediction. Predict the future, your own future has already been fixed. Weakness is the original sin. Been beaten up for a whole month, proud, bloated Mihawk, beaten up. He thought he was strong, but he didn't want to, he was still so weak. It's because he is too self-righteous. In the world, there are many strong people. Even the old man can't beat him. After all, he is a frog at the bottom of a well. He is working hard, he will continue to practice for another year or two, and then go out to fight the sea. The great swordsman Mihawk has entered a state of frenzied cultivation, improving his strength, and he will not go out until his strength reaches a certain level. Going out is the pinnacle, he doesn't want to be beaten. Thus, a certain person appeared as a swordsman when he went out, and the people outside who beat him doubted his life. At that moment, Mihawk suddenly realized that it wasn't that he was weak, but that old man was too strong. And Chen Qingtian, at this moment, landed on the island. Go back, wander slowly, no matter where you go. There is no fixed destination, just go with the situation. Go back and look at the time. When did you float to Windmill Island? When is the time to liberate Garp? Now is not the time. Garp, have a good day. It's not the most difficult time yet. He didn't know what torture was until Luffy went back. However, that Garp probably won't stay at home easily, he will be a hands-off shopkeeper. According to Chen Qingtian's prediction, he will give up within a month at most. Now, maybe someone has given up. That Garp guy doesn't know what's up. Gotta give Garp a call and ask to find out. After making a phone call, Chen Qingtian squatted on the stone, took out a jug of wine, and tasted it slowly. The red wine brought from Mihawk, he has a lot of wine in his wine cellar. Chen Qingtian likes it very much, and when he was not paying attention, he moved all of them away. Leave him a bottle. Chen Qingtian is not a cruel person, he knows how to keep a line in life so that we can meet each other in the future. Hey. The phone was connected, and Chen Qingtian spoke first. There was also a voice from Garp, and he asked slowly, Father, why are you free to look for your son? It's a rare thing for a busy person to find me in person. It's rare, I haven't seen it once in so many years. Garp mocked Chen Qingtian. It's not easy for a busy person like you to find me. The sarcasm was the sarcasm. Chen Qingtian could hear the happiness and relaxation hidden in his voice. Garp seemed to be on the sea. Didn't stay at home, he probably left. Garp, you have abandoned Ace, have you? Garp's mind was pierced, and he immediately denied. No, father, don't talk nonsense about things that don't exist, I won't abandon Ace. Deny it directly, and don't give Chen Qingtian a chance to question him. Father, when are you coming back? Ask you back, so that you will not be entangled in a certain problem. Chen Qingtian basically confirmed that Garp, this kid, was the shopkeeper, and he really left Ace alone to take care of Dayton. Damn Garp, he really did it. As expected of you, Garp, you dare to do such a thing. Garp looked left and right. Could it be that my father's spy is beside me? How does he know my situation? Not long after the old man left, you called. Is it a coincidence, or? With no one to suspect, Garp muttered, how did father know? Chen Qingtian asked with a smile. Are you curious, how did the old man know? Yes, father. Garp slipped his tongue, and quickly changed his words. Father, are you back? Could it be that the father came home? Find yourself away from home? Impossible, father can't go back. Otherwise, he wouldn't call. Ace, left alone, to help Dayton take care of him, he believes Dayton is okay. The home is very safe. If there are threatening pirates, he will clean them up and nothing will happen. And, maybe one day, my father will go back and take care of Ace. You don't need to worry about whether I go back or not, I'll just ask you, did your kid leave? At a young age, being called a kid by others, I feel unhappy in my heart, but I can't be unhappy. Is it wrong for my father to call me a kid? Ahem, father, you know, there are many things in Marine, I can't leave for too long, Sengoku and the others are too busy, let me go back to help quickly, so. Giving the blame to Sengoku, Garp is already used to it. Chen Qingtian picked his nose. How about I call Sengoku now? Garp. Being exposed, Garp is not afraid, he continued to say, what made his father go back early and stop wandering outside? He was leaving, Ace called him or something, and then hung up the phone. Never answer Chen Qingtian's calls again. Scared to death, father. Garp was afraid to pat his chest in the back, it was too scary. As soon as he left with his front foot, he knew with his back foot, whether someone had informed him. In the future, it is better to come back less often, it is best not to run into your father. Ahead is a happy life, and he finally doesn't have to revolve around Ace. Dayton, he is very relieved. Ace, I leave it to you. What he didn't know was that even if he went back, there would be surprises to greet him. The phone was hung up. Chen Qingtian stared at the phone speechlessly. It's unreasonable for a kid like Garp to hang up his own phone. The distance is too far, there is nothing to do, if it is in front of him, he will have been beaten. No matter what your status or strength is, you still have to be beaten in front of your father. Hateful. Don't let Lousy see you. At this moment, a figure flew across the sky. The figure floating slowly past made a cheerful sound, followed by a few white things. Swinging leisurely, very abrupt. Looking up, the figure was still there, and she circled around midair. Amusing himself, chattering and talking, there is no pause for a moment. Oh, I can't go back, I will be scolded after I go back. People can't go back, they have to stay outside and continue playing. Go back or not. It's so difficult. Go back, don't go back, go back, don't go back, I'm going crazy. The little loli, who was turning back and forth, kept turning in midair and said a few words from time to time. She kept her lovely movements, in broad daylight, wearing an umbrella, standing underneath, looking up, she seemed to be able to see something different. It's not that Chen wants to see it, nor is he perverted, but, looking up, the scenery is beautiful. Little Lolita's thighs are really white, that's all. Looking further up, Chen Qingtian admitted that he was abrupt, and he seemed to have seen something that shouldn't be seen. As for the eyes, they are out of control, and they can't help themselves. What he doesn't want to see is what the eyes see by themselves. The little loli, who was spinning in the sky, noticed the pervert's eyes and exploded. Looking for strange eyes, he searched around and locked on the only person nearby, Chen Qingtian. She floated down angrily, stood in front of Chen Qingtian, and pointed at Chen Qingtian. Pervert, where are you looking? I was seen naked, and my safety pants seemed unable to block this person's eyes. In front of his eyes, he was seen through. It's really naked, what a scary look. The little loli protects the important parts of her body, so that she cannot be seen by someone. Look. Do you want to die? Threat. The little loli who exploded in anger, scum jumping. She only threatened verbally, but didn't do anything directly. An old man is not worth her hands, but those eyes are really hateful. Look again. Believe it or not, this princess poached your eyes. It looks savage, but actually, it's cute. Her movements, her voice, are full of beauty at this age. Chen Qingtian doesn't care about her, as a beautiful loli, she will naturally be treated specially. You look at Hancock, the same age, not the same cuteness. The two are incomparable and each has its own characteristics. The little loli in front of her has twin ponytails and beautiful pink hair. She has a short skirt and long socks that are pulled up to her thighs. They are very long and beautiful. Holding an umbrella, her pupils are big, her eyes are round, her mouth is pouting, and her movements are cute. Pink girl, that's her. High-heeled boots make a different sound. From a distance, this loli has satisfied the minds of many men. Standing in front of her, watching from the front, looking up and down, analyzing, she didn't grow up, but her dress added a lot of color to herself. It's beautiful, a one-sentence thing. Ordinary men can't resist when they encounter this kind of thing. Aggressive eyes, very annoying. Little Lolita didn't feel desecrated. The old man's eyes were aggressive, but he didn't molest it himself. Still uncomfortable, she pointed to Chen Qingtian and said, "Hey, old man, what are you looking at? Look again, my mother is rude to you, she is angry. I don't want to be watched, it's too uncomfortable." Also, she didn't want to be watched by an old man. You say you are a handsome guy, but she doesn't care. Women are those who please themselves, but you are not the right person for her. Don't be angry, little sister, are you alone? Rubbing his hands, condolences, like a strange old man. Little loli took a step back. Although she had strength, she was still afraid. The look in the old man's eyes was terrifying. He was seen through as if he was not wearing any clothes. Damn it, she waved her fist and threatened, "Don't look at me with that look, old man." Chen Qingtian smiled without averting his gaze. Continue to look, beauty, you must take a few more glances. After looking at it for a while, Chen Qingtian said, "Little sister, it's dangerous to go out alone. There are a lot of weirdos outside. Be careful to be caught by them. Come on, come over to Grandpa, Grandpa will take you home. It's dangerous outside. Your parents will be very worried if they know you're walking around alone. Don't be afraid. Grandpa is a good man." The more Chen Qingtian said that he was a good person, the more little Lolita retreated. You move forward, she steps back. The two kept a certain distance. Don't let him approach, the little Lolita said vigilantly. Stand, don't come over. Blame Shushu is not as dangerous as you, blame Grandpa. You're the kind of pervert Grandpa, close to what I want to do. Don't be afraid, Grandpa is not a bad person. HMPH, I don't believe it, don't come here. Little Lolita pointed at Chen Qingtian excitedly. If he is not allowed to come over, if he comes over again, she will be angry. Chen Qingtian was helpless, spread his hands, and said again, I'm really not a bad person, little sister. Grandpa is a good person, he won't do anything to you, you have to trust Grandpa. See, my sincere eyes. Inside, everything is pure and flawless, with no special ideas. Grandpa, I am definitely not pervert, so don't be afraid. Little Loli hugged her chest, she shook her head and said, no, don't come here. You are a good person, I can see. Bad people don't say they are not bad people. A good person would not say that he is a good person. You, definitely the bad guy, are still a pervert Grandpa. Don't come over after the appraisal is over. Hey, Yowling, there is an old man who wants to molest me, so I want to call the police. The two were deadlocked in place. Chen Qingtian wondered, he took a step forward, and she took a step back. Not giving herself a chance to get close, even, she wanted to summon her own soul. Next to it, there are two white spirits hovering, staring at Chen Qingtian, ready to attack Chen Qingtian at any time. Little sister, you can't mess around. Grandpa is a good man and cannot stand torture. Ghost fruit, a devil fruit with bugs. If it hadn't been for the extreme person Usopp, Luffy and his party might have been wiped out by the group long ago. The ability of this fruit is very simple, and there is no development. Perona, the little sister in front of me, is still young and looks like a little Lolita. For her devil fruit, she can only simply apply it, and many skills have not been developed. She also rarely develops, maybe because she feels that self-protection is enough. Paramisha devil fruit, a special fruit, has been developed. Is it invincible? Just one of the negative ability ghosts, passing through the body of others, makes people's hearts become negative, so that they can't raise their minds to fight. It is conceivable that during the battle, I will send you a shot, sorry, you are dead. Once developed, it is useful to everyone, even powerful people have negative aspects. Unlike Usopp, who is negative to the limit, it has no effect. Even the four emperors, if they are not careful, will fall for it. It's a pity that such a heaven-defying fruit has not been well developed. But this is also good, Perona is holding the ghost fruit, at least no one will hurt her. Self-protection is enough, and she doesn't expect anything else. Chen Qingtian didn't expect to meet Perona who was struggling. Obviously, she was not alone. What a loli, it's a pity that that disgusting guy Moria took her under her wing. Seeing Perona's appearance, eating ghost fruit, and wearing this kind of dress again, there is no doubt that there must be someone behind her supporting her. That person must be Moria, one of the Shichibukai, who is considered a relatively useless person. Late useless, very useless, the man who was taken over by the pirates. However, he is the kind of person who treats his subordinates very well, unlike other pirates. Otherwise, after he fell, the subordinates would still want to follow him. Chen Qingtian looked at Perona playfully, his eyes were still terrible. Perona yelled. Hey, old man, you really don't want to look at me like that anymore, I'm angry. Pout, angry. Holding hands together, the little loli jumped angrily. The repeated warnings were of no use. This old man took his own words as deaf ears. It was too hateful. It's unreasonable, does he look down on himself? Perona is underestimated, she wants to show some color to Chen Qingtian. Negative specter. The ghost next to her floated out, trying to make Chen Qingtian passive, so that he would kneel down under her pomegranate skirt. The ghost floated and moved slowly, at least in Chen Qingtian's eyes. Those who won't be touched by it, Chen Qingtian who knows the effect, won't be hit by it. The easiest way to deal with ghost fruit is to directly attack the devil fruit owner. She has used the devil fruit ability, and her body is fragile and easy to become a target. Chen Qingtian wasn't Luffy and the others, his movements were slow to death, and he didn't know the power of the ghost fruit, so he got tricked. Shave. Stepping on a footstep, there was a swish sound in the air. He disappeared. Perona lost Chen Qingtian's vision, and the old man in front of her was gone. The negative ghost couldn't find the target to attack, she kept looking for Chen Qingtian's figure. Behind, a voice sounded. Little sister, are you looking for the old man? Perona's whole body was stiff, and she didn't dare to turn her head. Behind, stood an old man, a terrible old man. The old man pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger, his strength is so strong, but he wants to talk nonsense with himself. Will he kill himself? Little sister, it's not a good habit to mess around with your hands. Smiling as a warning, Perona's hair exploded all over her body. She wanted to leave but dared not move. The person behind, as long as there is a little movement by himself, he will not hesitate to do it. At this moment, she is very fragile. After the ghost goes out, it takes time to come back. She didn't dare to move, and Perona didn't dare to turn around. What do you want to do? Terrified, scared. I didn't expect that I would meet a strong man as soon as I came out. On this island, there are obviously no strong people, only ordinary people. She rarely troubles them, and they don't trouble themselves either. Well, water does not violate river water. Chen Qingtian, a stranger. Myself, I suffered. Haha, don't be afraid, little sister. The old man is surprised to see your bones, you are a genius. The old man has always liked the attitude towards geniuses. You can't let a genius get hurt. After all, you have given me a beautiful visual feast, but you cannot be frightened. I got some rewards from Mahawk, and after receiving them, my strength improved a lot. Host. Monkey D. Qingtian, Chen Qingtian, Devil Fruit. Zone Turtle Fruit Phantom Beast Species Basalt Form, Basalt Evolution, 92. Skills. Iron Body LV 93, Finger Pistol 91, Moonwalk LV 90, Shaving LV 92, Tempest Kick LV 90, Paper Arts LV 93, Armament Hakilv 94, Observation Hakilv 95, Conquerors Hakilv 86, One Punch LV 91, Life Return LV 91, Swordsmanship LV 90. Iron Body Basalt Body, none. 6 Styles Basalt Boxing, none. Open the sky with one sword, avoid the gods. Devil Fruit Abilities. Anti-injury. Covering water, cracking earth, suppressing, dividing heaven, love of the earth, lion majesty, poisonous dragon, Xuanwu pressure. Not much has changed, and among them, swordsmanship has improved the most. Successfully breaking through level 90, this is the biggest change that Mahawk Kid brings. Others, basically no improvement. The degree of fruit evolution has increased by 2, which is expected. Not too much, not too little. At the back, if you want to improve a little, it is difficult to reach the sky. Every time you increase a point, your strength doubles. With the power of Chen Qingtian, I am even afraid that with a casual punch, the little loli in front of me will be shattered into shards. You can't mess around, and you can't shoot randomly. The old man likes geniuses the most. Little sister, are you willing to practice with the old man? Perona fried hair. He wanted to collect himself. He actually had such thoughts about himself. Sure enough, he is a perverted old man. Pervert old man. He's still a child, grandpa. Not the old man, but grandpa. Those who know current affairs are Junji. Perona knows how to change roles, and admits to be cowardly when it's time to admit cowardly. You can't fight hard. In front of life, there is no big deal. The child is just right, and has strong plasticity. Trust me, I promise to train you into a strong man. Chen Qingtian promised again and again that he would not let Perona go. The old man took a fancy to it. Perona wanted to cry, but she was wronged and said, no, I'm stupid, woo, don't take me away. He is still a child and cannot do those things. Small is small, she knows everything she should know. Rumor has it that some old men like little loli very much. There are many people in pervert. Unexpectedly, the old man in front of him is. Perona was unlucky to meet a powerful pervert old man when she went out. She wanted to cry, she knew she would not go out. When going out, girls must protect themselves. Let me go. Woo, grandpa, I'm just a child. I didn't mean it just now, I'm sorry, grandpa. Apologize, cry. The wronged Perona wants to get out of here quickly. She didn't want to be taken away by some old man to do those disgusting things. She doesn't want it, she can't be defiled. The more I think about it, the more I feel wrong. Thinking of that scene, she wanted to cry even more. Terrible. Unimaginable. In case he does something to me, should I resist, or not? Ahem, little sister. What's your name? Perona didn't dare to look at Chen Qingtian's face, for fear that he would see through her mind. It's over, he asked my name, he must want to do something to me. What to do? Boss Moria, hurry up, he's been hijacked. Terrible grandpa, he wants to do something to me. Biting her lips, Perona trembled all over, she didn't want to answer. But Chen Qingtian's cold snort was heard, and his body condensed. scared, panicked. If you don't say it, you may experience terrible things. Pay Perona. Not daring to hide, not daring to lie, Perona weakly said her name. With a pale face, she begged. Let me go, Grandpa, he doesn't know anything. Poor Perona doesn't want to serve an old man. She will be disgusted. Unlike what she dreamed of, what she wanted was Prince Charming, not Old Man Charming. Woo, I'm so pitiful, you still have to treat him like this, woo. Cry, cry loudly. Perona sat on the ground, wailing loudly. It looks so pitiful. The look of helplessness is pitiful. Poor Perona burst into tears, unable to fight, unable to speak, and frightened. There was no other way but to cry. Chen Qingtian's speed was too fast, her attack couldn't touch him at all, let alone negative him, so as to escape. She will not act rashly if it is impossible. In case someone is pissed off, isn't it? To win sympathy, maybe some old man pity himself and let himself go. Chen Qingtian looked at Perona, who was rolling around, and he didn't expect her to be such a person. Her personality didn't change much from her future, and she was still so cute. Even crying is lovely crying. That's what the cute little fairy in the legend is talking about. Instead of the little fairy in some people's mouth, do you want to be disgusting? Ahem. That, Miss Perona, stand up and talk if you have something to say. Don't sit on the ground is dirty. Reach out to pull her up. Perona couldn't get up, folded her hands, and wept silently with her head down. Letting out a low crying sound, trying to let Chen Qingtian hear it as much as possible without disturbing him. This effect was achieved, which is what Perona wanted. Wow, I'm so pitiful. Woo, anyone will bully me. Hey, can someone come and save me? Blame Grandpa for bullying, woohoo. The crying continued, and the talking did not stop. She begged for someone to save her, but there was no one around. Few people come to this place. Chen Qingtian folded his arms and watched her perform, little lowly, acting in front of me. Don't you know that the actor standing in front of you is the film king himself, and you are playing big swords in front of Guandi? Don't speak, don't move her. Watch quietly, Chen Qingtian wants to see how long she can perform. You continue to cry while I watch. After a quarter of an hour, Perona's crying didn't stop, she kept crying. No one came to rescue her, and Chen Qingtian didn't leave either, just watching. Sit down and drink. Taste the red wine slowly, you continue, I don't care, there is plenty of time. I can go on energy consumption, can you? Perona was dumbfounded, this person actually still had alcohol. Damn, he really didn't intend to let himself go. If you can't continue, you will cry to death. Would you like a drink, Miss Perona? He looked up secretly and was found. Perona stopped crying, she got up, walked to Chen Qingtian and sat down. Anyway, there is no escape, so why not face the tragedy head on? It's just drinking, who do you look down on? Give me a drink. Reaching out, she wants to drink, try the taste of red wine. Chen Qingtian refused. Minors are not allowed to drink alcohol, Miss Perona. Sorry, I was joking just now. You can't drink. So. Perona. F*K it, I fell for it. He's calculating himself, damn old man, he. Humph. With a cold snort, he turned around, squatted down, and closed himself off. Chen Qingtian took a sip of wine and said, have you thought about it? Miss Perona. Do you want to follow the old man? The old man will treat you well, and won't make you starve or frighten you, how about it? Perona understood another meaning. He wants to support himself and let himself follow him. From now on, as his little wife, follow him in everything. Status, I don't have it anymore. Do not. Reject. Perona didn't care about it, but bit the bullet and refused. I don't want to serve you. Bad old man, very bad. Are you in good health? Looking for my little sister, do you think too much? Let me tell you, it's impossible. Absolutely impossible, I, Perona, would not accompany an old man. Chen Qingtian has a black line. What's the situation, sister? What the old man said is not the same thing as what you think. Have you misunderstood the old man? The old man sees you as pitiful, and wants to teach you something so that you have the ability to protect yourself so that no one will bully you in the future. What about you? Thinking about those messy things, what are you thinking in your little head? He reached out and beat her on the head. You are truly a unique martial arts prodigy. You are never short of whimsical ideas. If the old man wants to find women, there are plenty of them, so why bother looking for you, a little lowly who hasn't grown up? You're overthinking, Miss Perona. Perona refused. Huh, Who knows what you, a bad old man, are thinking? What if you are fooling me? After I follow you, if you do something to me, can I resist? Don't think that I don't know what you are thinking. I advise you not to think about those evil thoughts in your heart. When you are old, you have to admit that you are old. Don't always think about harming your little sister. It's disgusting, Haitui. The contemptuous little loli said a lot in one breath. She said everything that was in her heart. It doesn't matter if it's 3 or 7, it's death anyway. How about sacrificing yourself a little more heroically? Didn't my old lady tell you that once you're old, why don't you go home and enjoy yourself? If you insist on coming to my old lady's place, you won't be happy. I can't beat you. If I could beat you, I would have beaten you long ago. Humph. Hold your head up and hold your chest out. Haughty, like a groundhog. Amazing loli, amazing ideas. You are really rare. I really think about something in my head, and I usually read those stories a lot. Another little sister poisoned by poisonous chicken soup. Snapped. Knock again. It hurt so much that Pei Lola burst into tears. The pain made her even more pitiful, staring at Chen Qingtian angrily. The rapid change in attitude is unacceptable. It may be that she is desperate and wants to die. Don't always read those storybooks, can you read something normal? In the future, you can't look at those things, take them out, and the old man will burn them for you. Perona hugged her chest and refused to take it out. That is her treasure, how can it be given to outsiders? Chen Qingtian stretched out his hand, Perona shook her head. If you don't take it out again, the old man will have to reach out. When the time comes, don't blame the old man, hee. Stretching out his hand, he made a grabbing motion. Did you do it, or did the old man do it? The old man gave you a choice, don't be ignorant of good and evil. Since you said that the old man is a pervert, today, the old man will show you the pervert. The smile is wretched, and the movements are very pervert. Perona hugged her chest and shouted, pervert. The perverted old man, the perverted old man, the perverted old man, and other words spewed out of Perona's mouth. She turned her head, and her whole body was resisting. Chen Qingtian stretched out his hand, not giving her a chance to refuse. Hurry up, I'll count to 3, if you don't show it, I'm going to do it. 1. 2. After counting 2 numbers at once, Perona was stunned. So fast, before she was given a chance to react, it was already 3. I'll take it, wait, don't do it, I can't take it. Woo, my script, my baby, don't mess around, old man. Reluctant to take it out, not wanting to give it to Chen Qingtian, her treasures, they are all treasures that she treasured for a long time, and bought them with frugality, unexpectedly, they were snatched away today. No, my baby. The storybooks are all about those things about the prince and princess, who suffered hardships and lived happily together in the end. There are also ugly ducklings who become white swans, beautiful and proud, successfully transformed, and get out of the quagmire. All kinds of scripts and stories, most of them are normal, but 1 or 2 are not normal. What the princess should do to please the prince, what to do to be in power, how to beat the vicious mother-in-law, these stories are not suitable for children to read. Chen Qingtian left her a few positive storybooks to read, and burned the others in front of her. Incinerate, leaving no slag. Don't try to save her, Chen Qingtian won't give her a chance. Do not. My baby, no, you can't burn my baby. Woo, my baby, don't. Don't leave me, my baby, no, old man, I'll fight you. My old lady fights with you, no matter what happens, Perona fights, and she is holding her head with Chen Qingtian's hand, unable to move forward. He stretched out his hand to touch, but he couldn't touch Chen Qingtian in the slightest. With short hands and legs, she could not get close to seeing Chen Qingtian in front of her eyes. The storybook was burned. Nothing left, it cannot be saved. She, powerless, collapsed on the ground, crying. Woo, my script, my baby, how could you treat me like this? That is the baby I have treasured for a long time. Do you know how much thought and how much money I spent to buy those scripts? It was all bought by him with hard work and earning money. It was she who worked hard for a month, didn't dare to waste money, didn't want to eat, didn't want to drink, and lived frugally in order to buy the book. For this, she was scolded. But she insisted on going her own way and refused to give up. She couldn't buy the script and refused to give up. The last solitary copy on the island, if it is burned, it will be gone. Can no longer buy it. You pay me, I don't care, you have to pay me. Perona hugged Chen Qingtian's thigh, refusing to let go. If she doesn't give herself a script, she won't leave. I, Perona, depend on you. You can't go. Walking forward, she hugged Chen Qingtian's thigh with both hands and feet. Wherever Chen Qingtian went, she followed. Never letting go, she is no longer afraid of Chen Qingtian. Furious, she pouted and said, "You crappy old man. Why did you burn my script? HMPH, I'm fighting with you. Again, give yourself confidence. Can't be left behind." Perona lacks courage and speaks loudly. "Can you pay attention to the image a little bit? Many people are watching it. Do you know that your appearance is very that, without image, like a child? You are a girl, you should pay attention to your own image, you can't behave badly in front of outsiders. How to marry in the future, don't think about the present, but also think about the future." Perona pouted. "HMPH, I don't care about it. I hold you. If you don't pay me back, I won't let go. Image. Can it be eaten?" Perona doesn't care about her image, she is still a child, and whatever a child does is forgiven. "Lift your feet, kick your legs." Perona hugged and didn't let go. Even if Chen Qingtian jumped onto the treetop, she was still hugging him. He completely disregarded his own fatness and exposed it, but unfortunately, there was no one below. Chen Qingtian coughed and said, "Let go, if you don't let go, I will." Evil smiled, and stretched out his hands. Pretending to do something to Perona, Perona held her head up high, not afraid of Chen Qingtian at all. Come here as you please, see if I'm afraid of you. Fight. Bad old man, if you want to do it, you can do it as you like. I don't care, if you really want to fight, Perona's resistance is useless. Why not be generous and test him yourself? Chen Qingtian patted his head, "Damn Perona, don't play according to the routine. You're not afraid of me anymore." Perona shook her head. "Don't be afraid, Grandpa, you can do whatever you want. Even if you humiliate me, I will admit it. But before humiliating me, can you give me a good notice?" The two were at a stalemate. Chen Qingtian had nothing to do with her, and sighed, "Miss Perona, are you really not afraid?" Hands, approaching. About to touch her face, Perona panicked. If the old man really did something, he might be in trouble. "No, don't let him come near. But I can't lie to him, in case he is acting." Endure. Hand, touching the cheek. "Next, go down." At that moment, Perona relented and said, "You won, Grandpa. I let go of you. Up to you." She let go of Chen Qingtian and floated in the air alone. Eyes, staring at Chen Qingtian with malicious intent. Her devil fruit ability will be activated at any time. She endured it, and endured it several times. She didn't dare to do anything, in case Chen Qingtian was angered, the consequences would be disastrous. "That's right, Miss Perona. What are you looking at?" Chen Qingtian reminded. "Are you looking for a fat boy?" Perona's pupils constricted. "Big fat boy, do you mean Brother Moria? Captain Moria is here." Looking around, there was no sign of Moria. Perona didn't know that he was blackmailed, he was talking about himself. "You." Chen Qingtian smiled happily. "As expected, you are waiting for someone, Miss Perona." Being seen through, Perona panicked and tried to delay Chen Qingtian. But he doesn't seem worried. "Don't wait, he won't be able to find out what's going on here." Chen Qingtian raised his finger and said, "Before your partner arrives, I can clean you up. If you don't believe it, you can try it." At this moment, Perona dared not move. The atmosphere did not dare to breathe, for fear of accidents. Her own thoughts have been guessed. In front of him, she has no secrets. "No, Grandpa, how is it possible? I am very obedient and will not make trouble." Pulling so far, Perona did her best. But his own captain, Moria, hasn't appeared yet, and he doesn't know where he will die. It is estimated to find someone's body and be a gravedigger. Really? Chen Qingtian flashed his figure and appeared again, standing beside Perona. His hand pressed Perona's shoulder, and the figures of the two fell slowly. Back on the ground, Chen Qingtian pinched slightly with his hands. "Miss Perona, your body is very fragile." With a slight pinch, Perona's bones were almost crushed, but fortunately Chen Qingtian restrained most of his strength. "Small body, too fragile. A body that is not resistant to beating is not enough. That's not okay. Anything can be weak, but the body cannot be weak. This old man hates this kind of thing the most. What if you are in danger in the future? For the sake of you being a martial arts prodigy, this old man has decided to give you special training, not 998 or 888, just 188. Yes, you heard me right, 188. 188 can get my education, 188. If you can't buy it, you won't be fooled. If you can't buy it, you will suffer." Hurry up and pay, it's only 188 gold, can you not come out? 188. You can't be fooled when you buy it, and you can't lose money if you buy it. 188 pieces of gold, not 188 Baileys, the two are very different. The price of gold is far higher than that of Pele, and there is a certain gap in exchange. 188 pieces of gold, according to the market price, is incredible. He came to slaughter sheep, not to teach. Whose teaching is as expensive as yours, you are killing her. Perona has never seen so much money in her entire life. I will give it to you. What does she eat? An unattainable dream. Someone casually said that Chen Qingtian was so short of money that he could say such a thing. 188. I give you a discount because you are an acquaintance. Others want to learn, at least 10 times. Miss Perona, it's better to act than to be moved, so hurry up and pay. Don't hesitate. Hesitate for a second, you are equivalent to missing 100 million. Is the old man's reputation trustworthy, or do you think the old man's courses are not worth the price? Bow your head and question. Perona wanted to answer yes, but she didn't dare. The old man's eyes are terrifying, but if he says no, he will not hesitate to mess with himself. For the sake of her own family and life, Perona shook her head against her conscience. It's worth it, but I don't have any money. Your course is valuable, I have no money, I'm sorry, I can't help you. How about you wait until I go back to discuss it with my family and tell you the result? 36 strategies are the best strategy. Perona asked weakly, trying to get an answer. Chen Qingtian pointed to himself and asked, do you think I look like a fool? Miss Perona, there is no way you can go back. Now you have two choices. 1. Give me money, I will be wronged, and I will educate you for a while. 2. I guess you don't want to choose. The second option, needless to say, you will not choose. Perona asked curiously, what's the second option? Chen Qingtian touched her head, but she couldn't resist. Lowering his head, he said softly, have you seen the sea? Do you think you have been sunk? Do you have a chance to survive? Sink to the bottom of the ocean. This is the second option, do you want to choose? Perona immediately shook her head, refusing to kill her. No, I want the first one, Perona said aggrievedly, but, I really don't have any money. If you don't believe me, just search. Cough cough. Chen Qingtian smiled and rubbed his hands, his face full of wretchedness. This is so bad, is it really okay? Perona backed away, scary old man, so wretched. I don't want him to touch me. No more. He stretched out his hand, stared at Perona with a smile, and kept putting pressure on her. Perona gritted her teeth, hugged her body, backed away, kept backing up. Behind, there is no retreat, she cannot retreat. He, Miss Perona, the old man is here. Reach out. You asked me to check it yourself, I didn't search you on purpose. Sorry, Miss Perona. It feels good. The skin is very tender. After groping up and down, no money was found. There is really no Bailey in Perona, and she has spent all of it. Chen Qingtian was satisfied, looking at his hands, there was a gentle smell left on them. A little warm, a little fragrant. Ahem, you would have said it earlier without Bailey, Miss Perona. Bite back. It's you who didn't say it. Perona's eyes were red with anger, she was bullied, and she had to take the blame. This pot was thrown too fast and too big for her to handle. Don't be like this next time. Look at my hands, hey. I miss that feeling, ahem, I am not pervert, first of all I have to prove it. I'm a good guy, it was Perona who made me do it. Not that I would. Okay, let's go, the old man is destined to return empty-handed today, hey. You go. I'm not stopping you. Old man, I am already satisfied, so I don't need to take the next step. Let's separate from each other. Hey. Perona. What's wrong with you? A huge figure approached, with a fat body, walking swaying. The man holding the flagon drank heavily. With blurred eyes, he, staggeringly, approached the two of them. Looking down, he saw Perona with red eyes, a drunk man, a little sober. Asking about his half-daughter, he took a sip of wine. Perona jumped up happily and came to Moria's side. Woo, Captain Moria, he bullied me, this man, he bullied others, woo. With a clatter and crying, Perona found a backer, crying to find trouble for Chen Qingtian. Allegation that Chen Qingtian tortured her, humiliated her, and even did disgusting things to her. That matter, Perona dare not say, she is ashamed to speak. After talking about it, Moria was furious. What? What did you say? Moria yelled loudly, turning her head and asked Perona, did he do anything else to you? Moria's momentum exploded, and Perona said it was her own crew. In fact, she is Moria's half-daughter, and has always been raised as a daughter. Don't allow her to be bullied and humiliated, hold her in the palm of your hand, for fear of falling. I am not willing to touch her, an old man actually humiliated my daughter. There is no reason for this. Old man, are you tired of living? The momentum is coming, he is very angry. Old man, you are dead. Perona complained aggrievedly. Woo, Captain, when he sees people, he stops them and tells them to warm his bed, woo woo. He refuses, he insists on keeping him, and he can't beat him, so he can only compromise. Woo. I'm so miserable, I'm so scared, Captain, I thought I'd never see you again, woo. Crying Perona, very sad. Holding Moria and crying loudly, being tortured terribly by Chen Qingtian, there was nothing in front, and the last search was fatal. Captain, you want to avenge me, he bullied me. Moria suppressed his hand, he was furious, and stared at Chen Qingtian sharply. An old man who dares to bully me. Don't think that since Laozi withdrew from New World, anyone would dare to do anything to Laozi. Do you know who Laozi is? Who dares you to touch Laozi, old man, you should kill yourself. Holding hands, the arrogant Moria regained her sobriety and stopped drinking. His eyes stared at Chen Qingtian, waiting for him to do it himself. Chen Qingtian blinked, I'll go, so domineering Moria. Sure enough, it was Moria, the man who had a big fight with Kaido. Although he lost, he didn't give in. Who are you? Moria was so angry that he didn't know himself. Is my face so ordinary that no one can recognize it? HMPH, old man, listen carefully, Laozi, Gecko Moria. Moria pointed at herself and introduced loudly. Scared of you. Laozi is the legendary pirate Gecko Moria. Have you ever peed your pants? Chen Qingtian shook his head. I don't know, who is it? Moria. Perona. Is it famous? Miss Perona. Chen Qingtian turned around and asked Perona, and Perona was knocked down. Perona had a million words to say, but couldn't. She didn't know how to answer this question. Perona was at a loss when asked. She said that Chen Qingtian was ignorant, but she couldn't say that the captain was not famous and would be beaten by the captain. The name of his own captain, is really not famous. The most famous thing is that he was killed, everyone was killed, and he was left alone, leaving New World in desperation. This matter must not be said, and he should try his best not to let others know. She couldn't reveal the captain's scars in front of the captain, she was too inhuman. Moria's body was trembling with anger, he leaned closer and asked, Old man, don't you know Laozi? Very angry, why he doesn't know Laozi? Is it true that Laozi is not famous, or is it that you are short-sighted? It is normal for an old man from Shankara not to know himself. That's good, Laozi, Moria, a pirate who once galloped the New World, a man who almost ruled the New World, it's your loss that you don't know Laozi, huh? Moria raised her head, puffed her chest, and confidently talked about her past. At this time, Chen Qingtian took out a newspaper, on which was the news of Moria's defeat. Read it word by word, and then ask Moria with a smile, Moria, is this you? Only see the above, drawing the appearance of Moria, and the appearance of his deadly enemy Kaido. Moria, who was defeated, and Kaido, who was victorious, formed a huge difference. Saw this message, Moria, went crazy. Ah. Kaido, Laozi is going to kill you. Ah. He tore up the newspaper like crazy, he didn't want to see the news, and he didn't want to recall the situation at that time. His buddies, his brothers, were all killed. I was left to escape alone. Leave New World disheartened and live in this ghost place. It's all Kaido's fault, without Kaido, I'm still galloping in the New World. Dreams are shattered, hearts are bombed. The death of her partner caused Moria to collapse in despair. Thinking about it every day, he was sad and angry. Ding. Moria seems very sad. His partner and his fleet were ruthlessly crushed by Kaido. You have to tell him about the past when you beat Kaido violently and give him courage. Moria and Perona are not father and daughter, it is better than a father-daughter relationship, especially Ms. Perona. She is cute, beautiful, and a little self-willed. You did some strange things to her, which aroused Ms. Perona's attention. Let them know about you sharp. Mission. Shock them, care for them from the side, enlighten them. Reward. Very rich, old man. Remarks. Ding, be careful, old people, don't get angry. Little girls are very fragile, so don't mess around. If you harm a little loli, you will go to jail, starting from 3 years. Chen Qingtian wondered, hello. What do you mean? Could it be that I chan someone as horny? You look down on me, Chen, even if Chen, jump from here, I won't. Little Lolita can just watch it, tease it, and forget about the rest. If you want to find a girl, you might as well pay money to find a girl with a good figure and good looks. You look down on people so much, system. Chen Qingtian rubbed his hands and asked with a smile, this person is you, Mr. Moria. Moria wanted to shake her head, not wanting to recall that incident. It has been a long time since the last battle, and he recovered a little during this time. Unexpectedly, the scar was uncovered again, and this person seemed to want to add salt to the scar. You are so miserable. Where is your brother? Where did you go? Why don't you call me out to educate me? Moria. Perona. You are a real warrior, old man, I admire you. Dare to talk about that matter in front of the captain, as long as you can do it, Perona dare not. Whoever said that would face the wrath of the captain. I'm going to tear you apart, old man. Crazy Moria stretched out her hand, as if she wanted to catch Chen Qingtian. His eyes were red and his body was shaking. Being very angry, the deepest sadness in my heart was exposed face to face. It hurts, like a needle pricking the heart. No, take your time, Mr. Moria. Chen Qingtian, who was strolling leisurely in the courtyard, swayed and distanced himself. Chen Qingtian is still clear about Moria's ability. An old Yinbi, who likes to cut other people's shadows. Once he steals the shadows, you can't be exposed to the sun. Once hit by the sun, sorry, you're dead. Death with shadows. Paramisha Devil Fruit, a man who is destined to be the sixth child behind his back, but he collided head-on with Kaido. It's your fault if you don't die. That person Kaido is a monster, if you fight him head-on, it's only strange if you don't get dragged to death by him. Since eating devil fruits Kaido, he is not the same as before. Physical strength, completed the transformation, and Moria was the first person to operate on him. Trampling Moria to the top, thus fulfilling his dream. Kaido, a man who has become the kind of person he hates the most, from being exploited to exploiting. After all, he became a devil, and he gave back everything he had suffered to others. Grief, we have to bear it together, and Moria is the beginning of sorrow. That kid Kaido is so weak that he can kill you. How talented you are, Mr. Moria. Moria. Kaido? Weak. Vegetable. F*K. You old man doesn't understand. Don't talk nonsense. Who dares to say that Kaido is weak? There is something wrong with your eyes, or something wrong with my world view. Kaido, a monster, a man who roams the new world and stands firm, you say he is weak. Hey old man, you say Kaido is weak. Isn't he weak? Chen Qingtian asked back. When the old man saw Kaido, he was still a weak chicken. You can imagine how good you are, Mr. Moria. Wave your hands, pretend. Acting bluntly did not affect Chen Qingtian's taunting of Moria. You are a rookie, no need to refute, you are. Moria got angry, he pointed at Chen Qingtian, scattered his own shadow, and attacked Chen Qingtian. It's useless, you can't touch Chen Qingtian at all. Chen Qingtian moved so fast that Moria recognized him immediately. Shaved? Marine 6 Styles, are you from Marine? Marine 6 Styles is a Marine exclusive skill, and others don't. Chen Qingtian's movements were very familiar, and Moria asked vigilantly, has Marine also found this place? You guys are really chasing after him, and you even found this place from New World in order to kill Lousy. Is it true that I don't intend to let Lousy go? No, Mr. Moria, I think you have misunderstood, I am not from Marine. You don't know if Marine will come back from New World to catch you. After all, you are not strong enough to pose a threat to Marine. Moria. Perona. She gave a thumbs up, secretly admiring Chen Qingtian. Amazing, old man, you are so amazing. Say all the things she wants to say but dare not say. Being bullied, Perona suppressed it for the time being. Her eyes glowed with color, and she looked closely at Chen Qingtian. You think too highly of yourself, Mr. Moria. Sarcasm, everywhere. Chen Qingtian's sarcasm is the kind that touches the heart and lungs. In a word, words that can kill you. Moria trembled with anger. You. Shadow Mage. Beside him, a shadow appeared, quickly attacking Chen Qingtian. In his eyes, it was a very fast and stealthy attack, but in Chen Qingtian's eyes, it was very slow. Before the shadow came in front of his eyes, Chen Qingtian was already standing behind him. Attack. Turn defensive. From behind, a punch came. Moria blocked it, it was too late. Damn it. Boom. With a punch, he smashed into the ground. He lay on the ground, stunned. Just one punch, not much. Sensing the danger, Perona moved far away from the captain and floated in the air. In addition to being shocked, the inside of her pupils was still shocked. The captain, killed by a punch, lay on the ground. I was almost affected. A fire at the gate of the city brought disaster to the fish in the pond. Captain. How are you? Wanting to go over to help, the old man stood in front, blocking her way. Back off. Scared. Perona's lips trembled. Don't come here. It turned out that he didn't lie. It was because the two of them were too naive. What he said is true. He and the captain are the frogs in the bottom of the well. So strong, with one punch, the captain was killed. Moria got up in a daze, his back hurt so much. This punch almost cost him half his life. Bones shattered, body sore. If he hadn't defended himself a bit, he might, really, have been beaten to death. Moria, who had a huge body and mediocre defense, felt hopeless again. Who the hell are you? Strong, his fists, gave Moria a sense of desperation. The old man in front of him is invincible. He seems to know his devil fruit ability and has been avoiding it. Moving so fast, Moria couldn't move her hands at all. He gave Perona a look and asked her to control Chen Qingtian, even for a second. Perona also gave him an impossible look, Chen Qingtian, ignoring the fruits of both of them. The speed of movement is fast. After they make a move, people can quickly avoid it. Any attack, in front of him, seems so childish. I am an old man. Chen Qingtian pointed to himself and said, an old man who likes to travel around. By the way, let's see if there are any good stories and listen to them occasionally. I think your story is good. It's a good story, and the little Lolita is not bad either. The figure is not very good, the skin is fair and smooth. The main reason is that it feels good in the hand and has a gentle attitude. She is a good beauty embryo. When she grows up, she must be a beautiful woman. By the way, you two are winking. Do you think I'm heir? The two people who are looking at each other, they want to make a plan for the next step. Seen by Chen Qingtian, the two quickly cut off communication. They were wary of Chen Qingtian, and if they couldn't do it, they would leave. The old man in front of him was invincible, so he retreated for now. Perona. No, how is it possible? Haha, Grandpa, you are so strong. Admire, eyes with stars. Moria coughed and changed her tone. Ahem, I don't know why this old man came to us. If we have done something wrong, please tell me and we will correct it. Fight, forget it. This old man has not yet shown other abilities, and the two of them have been educated. Think about it, for yourself, for Perona, or not to do it. Keep the distance. There are many bad things, and you can't change them. Chen Qingtian said bluntly, you have done wrong since you came out, old man, you like obedient people. Instead of you rebellious people, one or two, it's not worrying. Hook. Miss Perona, come here. Perona shook her head, refusing to pass. Does he still want to search for me? Impossible. That kind of thing is enough once, and I don't want to do it a second time. Dream. Old man, it's impossible for my old lady to pass. Don't even think about it. Even if the old lady dies, she will not pass. Perona, who was revered 1 second, is a wayward little sister the next. Moria didn't know what happened, and Perona seemed to have had something shameful with the old man in front of him that he didn't know. He asked Perona, but Perona didn't say anything. Don't worry, I won't do anything, just let you come over. And you, come here too. Why are you standing so far away, afraid that the old man will attack you? Chen Qingtian mocked, if the old man really wants to attack you, you can't resist. The two obviously didn't believe it. If you could move, you would have done it long ago. In short, it is impossible for them to give Chen Qingtian a chance. Hey, why bother? Why bother? It was you who made me do it. I didn't want to touch you at first. You were going to die yourself, no wonder others. Kneel down. The coercion, almost full-level coercion, exploded in an instant. The entire island seemed to be covered by coercion. Chen Qingtian is skilled at controlling coercion, only targeting the two of them, not other people. Otherwise, this island may be deterred. The bodies of Moria and Perona kneeled involuntarily. Just kneel down like this, kneeling down uncontrollably. The two had question marks on their heads, not knowing why. What happened and where are we? Why kneel down? Chen Qingtian said lightly. Look, I told you to come here, but I insisted on delaying the time for the old man, why bother? I don't want to beat you up, because I'm afraid that if I'm not careful, I'll beat you to death. It's all right now, let's all kneel down. If you like to talk on your knees, just kneel down. Perona. Moria. The two were terrified, there was such a strong pressure, and they couldn't break free. They knelt down, unable to get up, their bodies seemed to be crushed by a mountain. It's heavy, it hurts, it's hard. Hold on, don't let yourself get down. What happened? I was crushed and couldn't get up. Moria broke free forcefully, trying to stand up. The body moved a bit. Coercion, become stronger. In an instant, the two of them got down. Innocent Perona, who did nothing, was crushed once. Captain, boss, don't resist anymore. Woohoo! This girl's face took a big mouthful of dirt. Thinking of it, the ground is dirty, her long hair, her little skirt, can't touch the dirt. Moria, who was unwilling to lie on her stomach, did not allow herself to lie down. Kneeling, lying down, is a physical and mental humiliation to him. I have already knelt down once, and I don't want to kneel down a second time. Unexpectedly, it was still. You get used to kneeling. Once people get used to it, they cannot stand up. Perona doesn't want Boss Moria to do things, people must be aware of current affairs. Can't be tough all the time, knowing that you can't beat it, but rushing to fight it, isn't that courting death? It's not a question of whether you can fight or not. It's because you don't have the strength to resist. It's like a baby in front of adults. How can you fight? The coercion of Chen Qingtian was enough to make them unable to resist. Standing up becomes a problem, and you still have to continue to resist. Big brother, please, don't make trouble. I beg you, I don't want to lie down, I want to stand up, even if I'm sitting. I go. Chen Qingtian took out a chair from nowhere, followed by a table, and poured red wine. Tasting red wine, a comfortable life is enviable. He didn't come here to do anything, but to go on vacation. Moria. How many times has the Sangwan been shattered? What the old man in front of him said doesn't look like a lie. He is very strong, this ability alone is enough to shock many people. Ability comparable to Conqueror's Haki, Moria knows, this is not Conqueror's Haki. Is another ability, one similar to the Devil Fruit ability. If it is Devil Fruit ability, that is to say, the man in front of him has Demon Fruit power. Which kind of Devil Fruit does he belong to? Is it Logia, Paramecia, or Zone? Terrible ability, unable to resist. Physically and mentally exhausted, suppressed, very uncomfortable. Want to drink? Miss Perona. Perona nodded, she wanted to drink, mainly to stand up. I don't want to lie down anymore, it's too uncomfortable. People, you must know how to recognize the situation. She is smart, but she will not be crazy like her own captain, and she will do it when she is red-eyed. I want to drink, Grandpa, I haven't tasted red wine yet. She pretended to be curious and asked, what does red wine taste like, Grandpa? That soft, sweet voice that made people get goosebumps. She didn't think there was a problem, but rather liked this way of speaking. Grandpa, can you wake me up? People are tired. Do you have the heart to let a beautiful woman lie on the ground? It's fine for my boss to lie on his stomach, but I can't. Okay, but you can only get up one of the two of you. Chen Qingtian put his words here, you can choose for yourself. Two people, only one can stand up. Who it is, you can discuss it yourself. Perona replied directly. It's me, Grandpa, my boss said, let me stand up. Moria. No, I didn't say that, so don't talk nonsense. Chen Qingtian squinted his eyes and asked, Mr. Moria, is it? Moria wanted to shake her head, but Perona begged. Please, boss, please let me get up. You are a big man, it's okay to lie on your stomach. The ground is so cool, it's just for you to relieve the heat. I can't, I dress so nicely, can you bear it? No, let Perona stand up. After saying this, Moria was left with sadness in her heart. If it was anyone else, he would definitely have to stand up. Helpless, my little baby Perona has to stand up, and I can't let her lie on her stomach. Perona stood up, and she, elated, danced. Dancing with excitement, he jumped up and down in front of Chen Qingtian, looking curiously at the red wine in the glass. Red, like flaming lips. From the looks of it, it seems to be delicious. Can I have a drink? Weak question, can I drink? Chen Qingtian smiled and said, okay, but you have to give me a massage. I have a sore shoulder and need a massage by myself. Perona nodded immediately. No problem, my massage skills are very good, Grandpa. For a glass of wine, she sold her hands. Just a massage, minor problem. Small hands, holding red wine. Carefully looked at the red wine inside, put it under his nose, and took a sip. A strong smell poured into the body. She closed her eyes, enjoying the beauty of the moment. It smells good. Take a sip and enjoy slowly. Fragrance, exploding on bud. For a moment, she seemed to take off. Smile, gentle. Intoxicated, she exhaled exaggeratedly. It's delicious. Take another sip and savor the flavors again. Very refreshing and delicious. A glass of wine, finish it. She couldn't stop thinking about it. He wanted to continue drinking, but Chen Qingtian refused. The massage doesn't even start and you want to drink. Perona smiled happily and walked behind Chen Qingtian. She reached out for a massage, but seeing that Chen Qingtian didn't guard herself, her heart moved. If you do it yourself, don't you? Negative him, and then control him. In the future, he will be his own slave. She will treat Chen Qingtian as Chen Qingtian treats her. Miss Perona, you can't mess around. People, we must have self-knowledge. If you mess around, something will happen. You have to be careful. Moria's face was gloomy, her own plan had failed. Perona, dare not do it. She massaged with peace of mind, not daring to be distracted. It seemed that he was defenseless, but in fact, if he made any move, he would kill him. In that instant, a murderous intent struck. She panicked all over. No. How could it be? Grandpa, don't worry. I'm a professional masseur, and I promise to make you comfortable. After drinking, Perona's little face turned red. She massaged Chen Qingtian's shoulder very gently. Moria was sour. She was treated by an old man without enjoying the treatment. Woo woo woo, you are my half-daughter, you actually. My treat, Perona. Wanting to cry, the sad Moria bowed her head to hide her sadness. To be honest, Perona's massage technique is not bad. Massaging with small hands, the strength is just right. Mr. Moria, do you want to come and feel it? Hearing this, Moria raised her head and looked directly at Chen Qingtian. Is it okay? To be honest, he wanted to feel it. Enjoying Perona's massage is a little wish of an adoptive father. He has never enjoyed it before, and he really wants to try it. Okay, but Moria knew that things were not that simple, so he wanted to make a request. Hope is not a requirement of suffering. But what? Moria asked. Perona was very nervous. The old man didn't want to make trouble. This is just right. Let's enjoy the massage slowly, shall we? However, you can enjoy a massage. I want Ms. Perona to cook me a meal. It just so happens that I'm hungry. My request is very simple, can you achieve it? Moria agreed without even thinking about it. Okay, no problem, it's just a meal, Perona will cook for you. People don't kill heaven and earth for themselves. Daughter Perona, baby girl, for my father and me, you should cook. The stress melted away and Moria stood up excitedly. He walked over to Chen Qingtian and sat down. Come on, baby girl, give daddy a massage. Perona. Go to hell, you two bastards. Go to hell, two stinky men. Let my old lady cook for you, do you have the heart? I'm still a child, so you let me cook, hoot. HMPH, I will add a handful of ingredients for you, let you eat, let you eat. Added several handfuls of salt, Perona will salt them both to death. One said he was hungry, and the other said he was hungry too. Their lunches settled at noon. Perona is full and doesn't want to eat. If you want to eat, then eat well. HMPH, wait a minute and you'll know what's going on. Eat, I will eat you big head ghost. They are all eaten and cannot be spit out. The food is ready and served on the table. Chen Qingtian and Moria are ready to eat. The two sat together, talking and laughing, not at all like a fight. They are like two confidants who met each other and have a lot to say in their hearts. Moria asked. Old man, how did you beat Kaido back then? Can you briefly describe it? You asked a good question, Kaido. He was very weak back then, like a weak chicken. I don't know if he has become stronger now. It is probably the same as before. Arrogant, crazy, brainless, and a reckless man. Moria feels the same way. Kaido is a fool. A person with a simple mind and well-developed limbs can do nothing but do it. I was stunned by Kaido. Yes, a reckless man. Moria agreed. Kaido is a madman, a reckless man. Speaking into Moria's heart, there are many words in my heart, and I can't complain. I found Chen Qingtian, so I can complain with peace of mind. What happened to him was tragic. But Kaido, wasn't he also beaten up back then? Let me tell you, Moria boy, you can't learn from that kid Kaido. He was ignorant after being beaten once, and you still have to challenge the old man. No, he was beaten twice. Since he was beaten, he has learned to behave. Hey, Kaido should have been beaten up a few more times back then, so he couldn't be so arrogant. Chen Qingtian sat up straight. By the way, where is that guy Kaido now? The old man's hands are itchy, so we can just meet him. The prerequisite for the reunion was to beat him up violently. Can't let someone continue to be arrogant. Moria immediately said, Wano-kuni, Kaido should be in Wano-kuni now, sir. Are you going? Can you take me with you? Chen Qingtian said with disgust. You, forget it, you are so weak, bringing you will drag me down. Moria. Be despised. No matter how you say it, you are also a fighting force, but you were actually despised by others. Disgusted one after another, is he that bad? Perona just heard this sentence and couldn't help laughing. Ha ha ha. Boss, you were disgusted, ha ha. A burden, ha ha, I never imagined that one day, boss, you will be someone else's burden. Before, Moria always said she was a liability. Unexpectedly, this sentence was returned to him intact. It's so cool. Look at Chen Qingtian again, it's not so annoying anymore. Boss, grandpa, eat. When the food was served, she stood beside her. As a waiter, it is natural to be considerate in service and not to make customers feel dissatisfied. Smile, hold hands, and wait. Chen Qingtian said, sit down, let's have dinner together. Perona smiled and refused. No, grandpa, I'll eat the rest after you finish eating. I'm a waiter, so I can't dine with you. I just had to wait and eat the last of the leftovers. Moria raised her eyebrows. Sit down quickly, don't talk nonsense, eat as you please, don't make trouble for me. Perona doesn't want to sit down, she doesn't want to eat. She wanted to refuse, but under the gaze of the two big men, she sat down obediently. The first bowl of food is for her. The two of them looked at her. Eat, don't look at us. Moria said, eat quickly, you are the hardest person, you must be the first to eat. In fact, the two didn't want to be guinea pigs. Those meals seem to be okay. Perona doesn't eat, they dare not eat. Chen Qingtian knew the problem, he could know what Perona did without watching her cook. Moria saw that Chen Qingtian's attitude was wrong, so she stopped immediately and waited for the result. Perona couldn't get off the tiger, the two of them stared at themselves. If she doesn't eat it, they certainly won't. Moreover, he will do something to himself, when the time comes. I don't want to eat, but I have to. Damn old man, damn boss, the two of them are too smart. Grit your teeth and take a bite of your meal. The two helped to hold it, so they couldn't just eat. Swallowing with difficulty, she wanted to cry. It was very salty, and she wanted to vomit, but she couldn't spit it out, she had to swallow it. The second sip, the two of them watched her swallow, not intending to eat. Go on, take another bite. Perona wants to chop Chen Qingtian. Damn it, I ate 2 bites, and you still doubt me. Damn. Eat, she wants to eat. For the third bite, it took all my strength to eat it. Wanting to drink water, she endured it, she couldn't suffer by herself. It was Chen Qingtian and Moria's turn. Chen Qingtian pretended to eat, his eyes drifted to Moria, he was in a hurry to eat. I took a big bite and ate it in my mouth. The taste gradually became strange. His face changed. Become ugly. He wanted to throw up, but he saw that Chen Qingtian didn't eat, he was watching. At that moment, Moria understood, she became his test subject. Can't spit it out, absolutely not. Moria, swallow it, you have to swallow it. Not for anything else, just to let someone take a bite too. Swallow down, eyes are red, tears, brewing, will cry anytime. Both of them finished eating. Chen Qingtian put down his chopsticks and thought, oh, it seems that I'm not very hungry. Do not eat, you eat. I'm not hungry. Moria. Perona. No, are you here to play with us? Eat it. Eat it up, don't waste it, it's shameful to waste it. I stare at you to eat, give me all to eat, don't waste it. At this moment, the two were desperate. Is he a devil? Chen Qingtian said, if you don't finish eating, hee. You know the consequences. Thus, a disaster began. Half a month later. Somewhere. A man was standing outside waiting with a small child in his arms. Wearing a cloak, I waited for a long time. After a while, a man walked in, a little older. The two met, and after a long time, they met again. Drago said directly, Father, this is Luffy. Luffy, who is not yet sensible, has already fallen asleep. Garp looked at a child, very small, not sensible yet. Unclear child, at this moment, sound asleep. Garp is staring at his son Drago, who has been gone for so many years, and as soon as he appears, you throw me a child. Are you a devil? Dorag. What are you? Drago smiled and said, Father, you know that my identity is not suitable for taking Luffy, so. After Garp heard it, he exploded. No, no, Drago, I can't. No, he doesn't want to bring the child. Now Garp is afraid of children. Terrified of being tortured, he finally escaped. How could he go back to that place? Father. Garp looked at his son for a long, long time. Hey. Garp, who is this kid? Xiaohei looked at Garp in surprise, holding another child in his arms. After only a while, he actually picked up a child, sometime after the last child. Garp, who was tortured and scared, brought back another child, and this child was still young. Hey. Garp sighed, looking at the sleeping child in his arms, bubbling. It was exactly the same as when I was asleep, and so was the bubble. Thinking of the child of Dorag, he brought back a grandson for himself. Man, he left as soon as he said, and refused to stay for a minute longer. It's really unfeeling. You can't even eat a meal. Busy people, busy to liberate the world. This is my grandson. Well, your grandson. In the next second, Xiaohei's pupils widened, and she asked madly, what? You said he was your grandson, your own grandson? Drago's son? Where is the Dorag man? His son is here, and he must be nearby. Where is he? Xiaohei looked for Dorag, but he couldn't find him. Since that kid left the marine, there has been a lot of commotion. The reward list is very large, and many people want to take his head to claim the reward. She worried about Drago every day, for fear that she might accidentally hear the bad news. No one saw it, but his son appeared. I didn't see Aunt Xiaohei when I came. He really doesn't love me anymore. Xiaohei bowed his head sadly, staring at Luffy. Reaching out to take it from Garp. Garp gave him, hugging Luffy. Xiaohei stared down. What is your name? Luffy. Luffy, nice name. Not bad. He chose a name without discussing it with the old man. If he wasn't the old man's son, the old man would have killed him. I have one more grandson, but my mood is not getting better. Garp frowned. Next, how to deal with his grandson is a big problem. He can't take it with him, he is afraid of Drago, and in the end, something will happen. Still don't take naval headquarters back, it can't be put back to Windmill Island. Dare you? Let's say, Garp, have you thought about how to deal with him? Xiaohei asked. He can't go to the marine headquarters, and if those people find out that he is the son of Drago, something big will happen. Those people inside are no longer the people of the past. After the replacement, many young people came to power, and their strengths and personalities were different. The way of doing things is very different from what they used to do. How could they not take advantage of a good opportunity? I can only stay on Windmill Island, and it happens that Ace is also there. Dayton takes one as a belt, and taking two is also a belt. Throw it all to Dayton, don't take it with you, it's very dangerous. He wasn't sure if he could protect Luffy and keep it safe at home. When the time comes, father will go back and he can take them with him. With a father, it is safer than anywhere. That's right, Windmill Island is the most suitable for him, but the old man disappeared recently? That's right, I don't see anyone anymore. I don't know where to go fooling around. I'm afraid that he will bring a woman back and say it's my mother. When the time comes, don't blame the old man for destroying his relatives righteously. Haha, no, the old man is a bit playful, and he won't do that kind of thing. Xiaohei comforted Garp, don't worry, the old man has a sense of proportion. You still worry about Luffy, send him back quickly, lest someone get the news, but it's not good. I don't want to go back. Hey. Let's go, I'll go back with you. But. Don't let it go, hurry up. Xiaohei gave the order. The boat turned around and went back to East Blue. Not going back to naval headquarters, get Luffy done first. After they left, there was a person standing in the original position. Watching his father leave, Drago smiled. Luffy, take care. Father, take care. One is the son, the other is the father, and the two go home. Drago's heart was relieved a lot. No worries about Luffy, no worries. Behind him, two people came out. With a tall body and a serious expression, no one around him dared to approach him standing here. Wearing cloaks, the three of them made people around them feel that they were not easy to mess with. Dorag, what are you looking at? Drago shook his head. Nothing. Ivankov asked. Then why are you looking at that warship? Do you want to attack the warship? That's not okay. We'd better not make trouble now, our whereabouts can't be exposed, and you can't mess around. Drago looked ahead quietly without speaking. Bear is the same, taciturn. What the two of them knew, they would not tell the she-male king Ivankov. In the scene where Luffy handed over to Garp, Ivankov didn't know, Even, he didn't know that Drago had a son. The bear who followed all the way knew everything. He won't say it. Ivankov is a big mouth. The more he knows, the easier it is for him to say it. The two held the same view, and Ivankov next to him was anxious. He felt that the two must have something to hide from him. Hey, Dorag, do you have something to hide from me? No, Ivankov, you are thinking too much. Bear, tell me. No, the bear holding the book said lightly. Say no more, he, taciturn. Ivankov, who couldn't find the answer, was going crazy. He hated those people the most. He asked himself a question, but. Hey, old man, can you cook for yourself? Let me do it every day. I was a kid. He is a little princess. How can you let the little princess cook? The little princess is to lie down and enjoy serving every day, not serving others. Cooking is what her subordinates do. She doesn't touch Yang Chunshui with her 10 fingers. These days, I'm afraid of being tortured. This old man is obscene, lustful, and very strong. He can't beat him, and he can't get rid of him. I'm really here to dawdle, occasionally, to make a little strange request. Perona is going crazy. This old man can't figure it out. He is so smart that he wants all the things that are beneficial to him, and he can accurately distinguish the things that are harmful to him. Sometimes, Perona wondered if he had been spying on her. Eat, internally slandered. It's best to eat you two to death. Bad man, stupid man. Chen Qingtian turned his head and smiled. This smile frightened Perona. She stood up and said quickly, I didn't do anything, the meals are normal, don't you look at me, I'm scared. The wretched smile is very scary. Chen Qingtian laughed. Is my smile that scary? Perona nodded. What do you mean? Every time you show this smile, it must be something bad. This time, I didn't do anything, so don't doubt me. Take a bite for yourself to prove your innocence. Only Chen Qingtian was willing to eat. Moria learned to be smart, and Chen Qingtian didn't eat. He would never move his chopsticks. A meal, a happy meal. The three of them, talking and laughing, got along for a month, and understood each other's personalities. Moria and Perona have received a lot of inspiration, and their strength has been more or less improved. The improvement is not large, and the two of them are bad people, and they don't want to practice hard. No matter what Chen Qingtian said, they were still like that. It feels like enjoying life, rather than improving strength. Revenge. I have this idea, but Moria doesn't carry it out. In his words, take a break for a while. Moria, have you thought about taking revenge on Kaido? Everything was crushed by Kaido. His fame, status, wealth, and partners, all, are gone. Years of hard work have returned to before liberation. Hatred cannot be erased. Kaido is the most hated person in his heart, bar none. Sure. I want to kill him even in my dreams. Moria said with red eyes. She couldn't hide the thought of wanting to kill someone alone. His teammates were all dead, that was his partner, his brother. One or two, in order for him to escape, all died. He lived on himself in exchange for his death. If he didn't avenge them, would he still be considered a human being? Then why don't you practice hard? With the way you're acting, to be honest, you can't beat Kaido in your life. Don't talk about talent or other things, you are about the same age, you still have a chance. The upper limit of Paramecia Devil Fruit is very high, your development direction is wrong, and your physical skills are also poor. Self is fundamental. When you arrive in New World, you will find that the powerful must have good physical skills. Both are indispensable. Even if you eat the heaven-defying devil fruit, without the corresponding physical skills, it will be difficult to succeed. Moria bowed her head, feeling guilty for her poor posture. He wants revenge very much, he thinks about it every day, when he sleeps, and when he wakes up. He even wanted to leave Perona and go to Kaido alone. He couldn't bear it. Hey. Sigh. A lot of anger, unwillingness, all in this sigh. Boss, don't be discouraged. I will help you in the future. Perona comforted. She is the right-hand man of the boss, with the greatest combat effectiveness. If anyone dares to hurt the boss in the future, she will not spare him. Thank you, Perona. Moria stroked Perona's head. It's good to have you. Perona smirked. Chen Qingtian said, I have a way to make you stronger, do you want to become stronger? Moria, Perona, do you want to become stronger? If you want to become stronger, this old man can help you. Moria stood up, thought for a moment, and sat down again. He lowered his head and clenched his fists. He looked at his fists for a long, long time and let them go. Body, powerless. Decadent, he looked at Chen Qingtian in confusion. Thought about it, but his heart was shattered. Kaido's mace shattered not just his fleet, but his heart as well. The Tao heart is broken and I want to repair it. In a short time, there is no hope. Perona stood up and said firmly, I want to become stronger. Old man, no, Grandpa, help me become stronger, okay? Pulling Chen Qingtian's hand, shaking it, acting like a baby. Okay, people like you, Grandpa. Pouting, begging Chen Qingtian constantly, Perona wants to help Moria's boss get revenge, and can't make Moria's boss sad. It's just Kaido, look at me, when the time comes, I will kick your balls. Okay, of course. He reached out and stroked Perona's head. This time, the little princess did not avoid it. Pink braids, wobbly, amazing volume, pink hair color, smooth. The little girl's hair was bigger than her head, wobbly, very cute. Grandpa, you are the best. Hug the old man's hand and rub it. Perona turned her head and said, Boss, rest at ease, I'm going to practice. Trust me, I promise to become very strong, and then help you avenge. Moria nodded dumbly. With confused eyes, he couldn't look at Perona head on. I am not as good as a child. The two came to the forest. Chen Qingtian hooked his hands. Come on, girl, come and attack me. The old man doesn't move his hands or feet, just hit him as you like. You can't use your abilities, girl. Perona widened her eyes and asked, aren't you going to fight back? Grandpa. There are such good things that must be done. Perona rubbed her hands together, excited. The opportunity for revenge has come, and I have to find a weapon. If there is no weapon, a wooden stick will do. Don't fight back, but girl, I advise you to be kind. He, Grandpa, don't worry, I won't do anything to you, Perona said confidently. She changed to a stick, which was thicker and bigger. A hard wooden stick with thorns on it, it is estimated that it will be very painful when hit on a person. A weapon specially prepared for Chen Qingtian to prevent him from being in pain. Grandpa, come here. Charge. Perona, go ahead. Get stronger, girl. The speed of the girl is really slow, and she has no ability to bless her. Her combat effectiveness is only a little better than that of ordinary people. Strength, not as good as ordinary people. All these years, enjoy a peaceful life and have not experienced a battle. She is protected by Moria and rarely experiences bloodshed. It's too slow, girl. On the left, haven't you eaten? Can you move faster? Tisk tisk, you are miserable. Missed Chen Qingtian and fell down once or twice. She was thrown on the street and almost got a stick. The spikes of the stick were only a hand away from her own face, and Perona, unbelievable, jumped up. Grandpa, I don't believe it. She didn't believe that she couldn't hit him, and if he didn't fight back, she just stood still. As for myself, I have attacked so many times without hitting a single hit. Observation hockey, she didn't know such a thing. I have attacked hundreds of times in a row, but the result is the same. Not even one hit, even one. Panting, Perona bent over and put her hands on her knees. Look down and maybe see a little pink dot. The old man didn't sneak a peek on purpose, you showed it to me. Amitabha. Forgive me, God. Yeah, where are you looking, old man? Protecting her chest, Perona threatened Chen Qingtian. You can't look, you can't look. Chen Qingtian touched his head. I don't want to see it, but you insisted on showing it to me. Hey, my eyes are stained. Perona. I'm angry too, bastard, old man, old pervert, just wait. Perona regained a little strength and attacked wildly. Hey. What? Drink. Loud rain, little thunder. The output depends entirely on roar. Roaring to the end, she used the devil fruit ability. Negative wraith is used surreptitiously, however, she discovers to her horror. That person looked at her as if nothing happened. Girl, you are disobedient. Negative ghosts are invisible and quality less, and it is not easy to catch them. What touches is the soul. Chen Qingtian is not afraid of Pei Luonan's negative ghost, his body, vigor and spirit, have already cultivated to ultimate. Don't touch, don't be afraid of 10,000, just in case. Chen Qingtian has seen too many boat capsizes in the gutter, but he doesn't want to turn over the water himself. Dodge, dodge, stand behind Perona, raise your hand. Press down. What? Miss Perona's body bent down, a little bit. Waist, bend down. The knee, unable to bear the pressure, slowly bent. Miss Perona resisted tenaciously, she didn't want to kneel down, and she didn't want to lose face in front of someone. The old man wanted to kneel himself, and she would not give in. Gritting his teeth, resisting, his willpower tenaciously resisted Chen Qingtian's strength. Oh, Not bad, girl, continue to resist. Yes, that's it. The more you resist, the happier this old man will be. Haha, you can't kneel down, girl, come on. The old man will give you more strength, you have to hold on, don't kneel down. Strength, slowly increasing, Miss Perona desperately resisted. The body continued to bend. Unable to stand up straight, she bent to a certain extent, and she supported her knees with both hands. Don't let yourself kneel down, this is the last bottom line. Now she would not kneel down even if she was killed. I can't kneel. The last time was an accident. This time, the princess cannot kneel. Only other people kneel down to my princess. Without this princess, I can't kneel down to others, not even an old man. I, Perona, will not kneel down easily, even if this person is my teacher. The old pervert absolutely can't give in front of him. Once there is a second time, this old man will definitely push his feet and keep asking himself to kneel down. The two stalemate, like this, lasted for a quarter of an hour. Chen Qingtian admired Perona's courage, resisted tenaciously, and kept a single movement. She absolutely must not kneel down. Half an hour passed. Numb Perona, physically and mentally exhausted. The old man didn't let go, he kept pressing her. That hand was so powerful that her bones felt like they were about to be crushed. Keep going, girl. You shocked the old man, I never thought you could hold on for so long. It was beyond the old man's expectation. In order to reward you, the old man decided. With a giggle, Perona understood the moment she saw this smile. She was going to fight back and couldn't go on. Strength instantly increased. Bones creaked. Every part of the body seemed to be shattered. Her knee, unable to hold on, bent. Plop. Kneel down. After persisting for half an hour, she still couldn't help kneeling down. Aggrieved, she raised her head and looked at the old man. That look was full of sadness and anger. Chen Qingtian ignored her gaze and continued to increase his strength. Get down. Perona's whole body is lying on the ground, her face is in contact with the ground. Mouth, desperately away from the dirt. Chen Qingtian played a prank by making her keep rubbing against the ground. After eating several mouthfuls of dirt, Perona got angry and wanted to fight back. Helpless, the gap between himself and Chen Qingtian was too great. It is oppressive, unable to resist. After half an hour, Chen Qingtian let go of her hand and continued to let her attack. Perona rested for 10 minutes or so before attacking. For a new round of attacks, she dared not use the devil fruit ability. Physique, Perona's weakness, has always been. Poor physical skills, worse than ordinary people. Chen Qingtian should train her physical skills well. Devil fruit is a bug, it is invincible against people of the same level. But her body is easily attacked. It is necessary to increase the practice of physical skills, and then develop devil fruit. This kind of life lasted for half a month. Perona is going crazy. She has been beaten every day for half a month. Beaten again and again, oppressed again and again. Kneeling, getting down, those are trivial things, the old man with a bad taste likes to make her kneel. The more he resisted, the more excited he became. Myself, very miserable. Obviously resisted, the result is the same. If you don't resist, he will suppress it for a longer time. For her own sake, Perona still had to resist. For half a month, I usually exercise, bear weight, run, and improve my physical fitness every day. Just a little, enough to make Perona miserable. Every day is training to collapse, and a certain person will not stop until the last moment. Panting, she couldn't even take a rest, she would beat herself mercilessly. The ruthless attack made her dare not take chances. Fortunately, today, the boss of Moria participated in the exercise. It seems that she has stepped out of a lost state, perhaps because she is too pitiful. When two people work out together, the pressure is even greater. Perona thought that the boss of Moria was as miserable as herself, but found that she was the worst one. The one who was beaten was himself, and it was even worse. At that moment, she went crazy. Why did this happen? She asked the old man if he could stop chasing and hitting him. She ignored that Moria's physical skills are not bad, at least for now, not bad. Running, Moria had already run far away. Moria, who entered the state of cultivation, was thinking of revenge. Maybe, he found hope. Grandpa, can you stop taking care of me and take care of Boss Moria? I'm miserable, you still take care of me, woo woo. Chen Qingtian said with a smile. I don't want to take care of you either, you are so beautiful, Her Royal Highness Princess Perona. Her Royal Highness Princess Perona. At that moment, Perona raised her head and raised her chest. Come on, Beat me up, Her Royal Highness, you can beat me up as you please. Whoever makes others a princess is not afraid of difficulties. Then, training begins. The training of the two people is not the same, as specified according to their physical fitness. Probably, mostly on their own. Chen Qingtian is responsible for keeping an eye on Miss Perona, but he must practice hard. In the blink of an eye, a month has passed. The two have adapted to the current training. When I wake up every day and practice, except for eating and bathing, I am practicing at other times. Body art is their missing part. Devil Fruit has a good ability and developed it by himself. Physical skills, the two of them have been ignoring, which led to their own rookies. No matter how powerful the Devil Fruit is, it also needs powerful physical skills to support it. Physical skills are not good, it is difficult for you to become strong. Taunt them every day, arouse their anger, so as to achieve the training effect. Hey, Your Highness Princess Perona, run quickly and don't stop. Look at your boss, he has already surpassed you by 3 laps, and he is still surpassing you. You have to learn from him and not be lazy. In training, there is a comparison. Comparing people to people makes people mad. Perona was stunned, her boss came to trick her. He is so bad. Morning training is hard and uncomfortable. Lunchtime. Perona ate big mouthfuls, completely disregarding whether her own food looks good or not. Gentle people don't need to eat. The two of Moria ate big mouthfuls, and if they ate slowly, they would have nothing to eat. Moria, how are you feeling? Very good. Do you still want revenge? Think. Moria added. I will defeat Kaido, replace him, and I will avenge my brothers. Replacing Kaido's position, becoming a powerful pirate by himself, Marine dare not provoke his own existence. He is supreme, no one dares to provoke him. He is so famous that everyone will be afraid when they hear his name. His dream is great, whether it can be realized, I don't know. Even Chen Qingtian couldn't guarantee it. He missed the best period of cultivation. Moria, who is not young, only started exercising now. How should I put it, it was too late. However, it doesn't matter if he is enlightened, practicing physical skills will not do him any harm. The stronger the physical skill, the higher the upper limit. I don't know what kind of character he will become in the future, it shouldn't be bad. The premise is that he has been practicing physical skills, and he can't just develop Devil Fruit, and he can't always think about finding the corpses and shadows of powerful people. Those are foreign objects after all. Once lost, it is really lost. Only your own is the most real and will not be lost. Perona heard the dream of the boss. She stood up and said, Boss, don't worry, with me, no one can defeat you. This time, I will protect you. After practicing, Perona became black and became stronger. She gradually endured many things, even if she was taken advantage of by the old man, she also endured it. People are strong, and I can't resist myself, so I can only pay more attention, and I can't always be taken advantage of. The relationship between the three seems to be harmonious, but in fact, there are constant internal struggles. Chen Qingtian will always be the one being targeted, after all, he is an outsider. Thank you, Perona. We, two people, continue to practice. In the blink of an eye, another month has passed. Time flies. Perona's physical skills can be seen now, with standard movements, fast speed and strong attack power. At least 3 or 4 grades have been raised, and her strength has improved very quickly. Stronger than ordinary people, the practice these days has not been in vain. She enjoys the feeling of increased strength, and looks at herself in the mirror every day. She is darker and stronger. Although turning black will make her unhappy, she encourages herself in her heart, she will turn white, don't be afraid. Right now, getting stronger is the most important thing. She can clearly distinguish the seriousness of the matter. Chen Qingtian looked at Perona, she was going to attack her own head, and she found a good target. It's a pity that you are still moving slowly. Miss Perona, be careful. Turn around, wave a slap. Perona was so frightened that she quickly dodged, slapped and dodged, and she saw it. Unable to avoid it, he blocked it with both hands. People, fly out. Like a cannonball, it bombards the ground. Moria saw her daughter being bullied, she could kill her, she couldn't bear it, so she rushed forward to avenge her daughter. When he punched, his body was huge and his strength was also very strong, but unfortunately, he couldn't hit anyone. Chen Qingtian stretched out his hand, and touched his fist with one finger. The attack came to an abrupt end. Moria stared at his fist in shock, his attack blocked by a finger. This? How is this possible? The shock continued 3 times, and he opened his mouth wide in disbelief. The other hand makes a fist and swings it. This punch was avoided. Chen Qingtian raised his finger and moved forward forcefully. Moriya's body fell back. He was repelled. What a force. See no, Moriya, strength, is essential. He raised his hand again, fingers, and touched Moriya's head. Terrified, Moriya quickly retreated to avoid the attack, and Chen Qingtian appeared beside him. Speed is also essential. Strength and speed are both indispensable, and one cannot give up the other for the sake of the other. Go to hell. An angry Moriya swung her fist, but unfortunately, she missed. Mr. Moriya, the strength and speed are there, but the accuracy is not enough. Educate in the same way. Tell you what you were missing. Perona on the side was stunned, watching Moriya boss like a lost lamb, circling in circles. I can't call the old man, or even, I don't know where the old man is. Remind him silently that Moriya can't find anyone. Boss Moriya has been tricked. The only thought in Perona's mind was that if she didn't go up to help, she couldn't see enough. The old man was too ruthless. He didn't seem to hit Moriya's boss, but in fact, every word he said, every dodge and attack, hit Moriya's heart hard. It hurts so much, it's so irritating. A deadly attack, hitting Moriya's boss physically and mentally. After a while, Moriya sat on the ground tired. He was out of breath, tired, and the disadvantages of his huge body appeared. It is easy to get tired, and the physical exertion is several times that of the average person. His strength is very strong, this, Chen Qingtian admits. You are too weak, Moriya, the strength is good, the others are a mess. After practicing for so long, you have improved a little bit. Even Perona is not as good as this, so it's not okay. Based on your current progress, it may be difficult to take revenge. Chen Qingtian taunted him ruthlessly, not giving him any face. If you want to take revenge and fulfill your dreams, you have to practice hard. Don't wait until you are old enough to think about exercising. At that time, there will be no chance. People, you need to know when to do things. Your physical skills are very poor. In the future, you'd better practice your physical skills strictly. Moriya scowled. He knew it, he knew it. After being crushed by Kaido, my physical skills are really poor. At that moment, he knew his weakness, and he wanted to improve. Physical skills, it was not so easy to improve. It takes exercise overnight, and years of exercise to improve. He doesn't have enough time, not when he was young, so he can improve slowly. Humiliated, stimulated, and ridiculed by Chen Qingtian, he can no longer lie dead. And you, Ms. Perona, you can't be lazy in the future. Physical skills must be practiced. If you don't want to be bullied by others in the future, or want to seek revenge from the old man, you have to practice hard. Dodging, came to Perona, reached out and touched her head. Don't wait for her to agree or refuse, just touch it. Perona wanted to resist, she was embraced by Chen Qingtian. With those hands, I don't know where to touch them. What? Satyr. From Moriya's point of view, the two are embracing. It may be that Chen Qingtian loves Perona too much, and only hugs him before leaving. But looking in another direction, you can see a different scenery. Those hands, everywhere, groping up and down. After touching it again, Chen Qingtian was satisfied. Finally, pinch Perona's face. Okay, Your Royal Highness Princess Perona, thank you for your hospitality. Wave and stay away from little Princess Perona. Angry Perona jumped in anger, she wanted to kick Chen Qingtian, but he had already left. Turn around and wave. Goodbye, too, the old man is leaving. Before leaving, ridicule a meal, and then satisfied. Miss Perona, you should exercise hard. Pointing at Perona, Perona knew where the old man was pointing. Suddenly blushing, she shyly tensed her body. Old man, just wait, I will definitely find you, and when the time comes, I will kill you. Fist, threat, you wait for me, old man, today's humiliation, in the future, I will definitely get it back. Host. Monkey D. Qingtian, Chen Qingtian, Devil Fruit. Zone Turtle Fruit Phantom Beast Species Basalt Form, Basalt Evolution, 93. Skills. Iron Body LV 93, Finger Pistol 91, Moonwalk LV 90, Shaving LV 93, Tempest Kick LV 90, Paper Arts LV 93, Armament Hakilv 94, Observation Hakilv 95, Conquerors Hakilv 86, One Punch LV 92, Life Return LV 91, Swordsmanship LV 90. Iron Body Basalt Body, none. 6 Styles Basalt Boxing, none. Open the sky with one sword, avoid the gods. Devil Fruit Abilities. Anti-injury. Covering water, cracking earth, suppressing, dividing heaven, love of the earth, lion majesty, poisonous dragon, Xuanwu pressure. After receiving the rewards for 2 people, I can only say not much. It's pitifully small, and it can't be compared with that kid Mahawk. Chen Qingtian, who was expecting nothing, stared at the reward in a daze. Evolved to 93, only a little more, but it seems that there is no change. 1, no more, no less. Why can't you give 2? Is it because Perona and Moria devil fruit are poorly developed? Or are they both undeserving of the award? 2 miserable, the weak have no right to resist. Other skills, even without seeing it, just shave and punch have been added, and the others remain unchanged. The increase is not much, just a little, not enough at all. Chen Qingtian complained. This old man has lost face to treat Ms. Perona. She must hate this old man. What about you? Just give me a little reward, what's the point? System. The old man's famous name has been ruined. System. How will the old man meet people in the future? System. You go ahead, I'll just watch. The system won't care about Chen Qingtian. Finally, the helpless Chen Qingtian put an end to his sinful abuse. This reward is better than no reward. My own heart is stimulated. How much suffering, bear it yourself. It's hard. After leaving Moria and the others, Chen Qingtian walked towards East Blue. Along the way, stop and go. In the blink of an eye, a month has passed. Entering a desert, trekking through mountains and rivers, there is no way. I saw an island and landed on it. Take a good look at the scenery of each island. If you don't look at it now, you won't have a chance to look at it in the future. Stepped into the desert and walked for 3 or 4 days. Without going out of the desert, Chen Qingtian walked on this huge island, on which he staged a lot of hunting. Human to human hunting, everyone is robbing money, power. For these foreign things, keep killing. C will intervene. Some people go too far. Just wait for someone to kill them, dragging children, or civilians. Chen Qingtian's shots are quick, instant kills, even without having to come forward. Kill and go, not linger. Another day passed, and he entered a village. After walking through the desert, there is a village on the edge of the desert. It is said that the village looks down on it a little bit. A small town, to be precise, a very small town. Inside, there is everything that one expects to find, and people nearby come here to buy things. They are very expensive, especially fruits, which are so expensive that many people dare not buy them. Many people can only look at the fruit that they are reluctant to eat. Chen Qingtian doesn't know how to be a fish in water, he has plenty, eating a lot of fruit. Walking on the street, eating fruit leisurely, I heard a noise. Ahead, there was a dispute. Curious, he walked over. Entering the crowd, I saw the noisy object. 2 people had a quarrel because of the fruit problem. There is a high probability that it is too expensive, and they are deceived into saying that outsiders enter the local area and are easily slaughtered. The person being slaughtered is a beauty, no wait, not a beauty, but a huge girl, with scantily clad clothes, a burly figure, and a pink girly heart. Look at her head again. It's okay if you don't look at it, but if you look at it, it's guaranteed that you won't be able to eat for a few days. Chen Qingtian saw it, his pupils constricted, and he turned his head. Enduring the nausea, I don't want to spit it out, so as not to disgust others. There are many men like him, and they all turned around and almost vomited. A few men couldn't bear it, and they walked far away before vomiting. It's really, really shocking. After throwing up, they turned around, took a chance, and took another look. Then, tragedy struck. Spit it out again. It is true. Everything they see is true. A man, wearing a pink lace dress, exposed, showing his arms and legs. The problem is, he is really not good looking. Shemale. 2 words popped up in the minds of all the men, transvestite, just like a transvestite. A burly ladyboy, not a skinny ladyboy. Here, it is very rare to meet a ladyboy. Shemale King Ivankov. Chen Qingtian recognized the identity of the shemale in front of him, the king of Shemale Ivankov, a very strange man. With a girlish heart, he likes to wear women's clothes as a man. Once he becomes a woman, he will be very sexy. Of course, after watching him in this state, you are not interested in her in another form. It's really hard. Sorry to bother you, but we were wrong. Why is he here? It's not a good thing to meet him in this place and at this time. Chen Qingtian looked around, but there was no sign of anyone else. Looking up at the sky, there is no change in wind and cloud, and there is no change in the weather. I don't know if my good grandson is here, but he can't find me. I'd better hide it myself, so that Drago can't find out my whereabouts. Without a trace, he came and went quickly. Retreat, I can't watch the show anymore. Hope, there are no moths. He wanted to leave, but the human demon king said, "Hey, boy, please stay. Yes, that boy, please stay." Chen Qingtian quickened his pace, but Ivankov would not let him go. Pull him back and comment on Ivankov. "Old man, tell me, is it because they are too dark to sell such expensive fruits? Are they treating me like a fish in water, or are they bullying outsiders? Let me tell you, I won't spoil you, old man, tell me, aren't they too bullying?" Chen Qingtian couldn't bear it, it was too disgusting. As expected, he was still a normal man. Ahem, how many caddies of apples did you buy? 3 caddies. Not enough. Weigh it, Chen Qingtian gave the answer. Not only to kill you, but also to deceive you. Ivankov and the boss changed their faces at the same time, and Ivankov said angrily, "Hey, boss, isn't it good enough? I'm asking you something, boss, don't run away. Quickly tell my wife clearly." The boss bit his head and said, "How is it possible? I am innocent here, so don't talk nonsense. Look, it must be enough." Weighed it again, and the boss showed it to the two of them. Chen Qingtian hooked his hand, fumbled out a handful of scales, and placed an apple on it. Obviously, half a caddy is missing. See for yourself, boss. It's not that I'm targeting you, but that I hate cheating people the most in my life. Do you want to die for bullying us outsiders? Sure enough, Ivankov, the she-male king who saw the result, got angry. He pointed at the boss and trembled with anger. It's unreasonable to dare to lie to him, or to lie to him. If he is not punished, others will think he is easy to bully. Estrogen. The nail becomes longer, like a needle. Ivankov came to the boss with great speed, fingernails, scraping the boss's skin. Enter the body of the boss and inject female hormones. At that moment, the body of the boss began to change. Masculine features gradually disappear. The characteristics of women appeared little by little, first the beard, the facial features changed, and then the chest, which was shriveled at first, now slowly grows out. The bone in the throat also gradually retracted. The power of the hormonal fruit appeared immediately. It only takes one injection from a man to a woman, which is much better than any sex reassignment surgery. No surgery, no wound, no pain. Ah! The boss screamed, and his voice changed, sharp, like a woman's voice. Horrified boss covering his mouth to keep himself from making a sound. He groped for his body, changed. What? The screams continued, the boss left in horror. He couldn't believe everything in front of him, himself, turned into a woman. A man becomes a woman, there is no process. The blink of an eye was complete, and the men present saw it and turned away from Ivankov. I am afraid that I will be the next unlucky reminder. No man likes being a woman unless, well, gay. Women don't want to be men. Anyway, everyone stay away from him. Chen Qingtian, along with others, stayed away from Ivankov, pretending to be very scared. HMPH, if you dare to lie to me, I will make you a woman. Glancing at the others, including those bosses, they all backed away. They recognize the person in front of them clearly, and next time they come to buy, they can't cheat him. Thank you, old man. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't know they were lying to me. Then, carry Chen Qingtian and walk away. Turn around and leave, no matter whether Chen Qingtian refuses or not. Chen Qingtian, who was puzzled, was carried for a distance, and Ivankov came to a remote place before putting Chen Qingtian down. In the alley, there were 2 other people. Dorag asked, Ivankov, didn't you go to buy fruit? How did you bring someone back? Chen Qingtian, who lowered his head, was disguised, so Drago didn't recognize him. An old man, an unremarkable old man. Chen Qingtian, who lowered his head, heard a familiar voice. It was the voice of his grandson Drago, and he was indeed here. Keep bowing your head, you can't let your grandson recognize you, fortunately you have disguised yourself. Hey, don't talk about it, those people are all liars, 1 or 2 want to deceive me, and my mother only educated 1 person. This old man is the one who helped me, I can't keep him. Hey, old man, let's go. Chen Qingtian lowered his head and walked slowly. Turn around coolly, not to let Drago recognize himself. After 2 steps, Drago yelled, wait. The other 2 looked at the boss in doubt, but they didn't expect him to call the old man to stop. Could it be that the boss has taken a fancy to the old man? Want the old man to join them? Ivankov said, Dorag, don't you mean that? Shang persuaded, this old man doesn't look very good. The strength should not be much stronger, being able to be carried by Ivankov like that, the strong, is unbearable. It can be seen that he is not very strong. Drago carefully watched the back, height, and smell. Very familiar. Really familiar. The back view coincides with the back view in memory. Dorag had hallucinations, he said slowly. Turn around, old man. With a gentle manner, he wanted to see that face. Is it the face in my memory? Chen Qingtian's body trembled. Was he really recognized? After all, I am too good. But he still has a fluke mentality, he has pretended, and Drago should not recognize it. Turning around, staring at Drago lightly. Ivankov and Shang shook their heads, they didn't know each other, and after another look, they still didn't know each other. Drago beside him frowned with a serious expression. He stared at the old man closely, looking up and down, as if he was confirming something. Dorag, you don't know this old man, do you? Never seen it. Shang shook his head, never seen it, didn't know him. Among the people I know, there is no old man in front of me. Even if it's Dorag's father, he knows it. Shang knows many secrets, and most of the time, the boss needs himself when he goes out. But the old man in front of me, I have never seen it before, and I have no impression at all. Drago stared at Chen Qingtian closely, and he asked, Grandpa? Test. Uncertain. Hesitate. He wanted to make sure to see if it was his grandfather. His appearance is different, but his breath and everything else are the same. There can't be two identical people in the world. After all, Drago is not someone like Luffy, all of them are blind. Chen Qingtian shook his head. Huh. What are you talking about? I'm not your grandfather. Young man, don't misidentify people. I'm not a grandfather, not your grandfather. Come on, confirmed. Drago folded his hands, playing with taste. Stop pretending, Grandpa. It's okay not to speak, but when he spoke, Drago was sure that the old man in front of him was his grandfather. The grandfather who disappeared for a long time, the man who didn't know where to go. He didn't expect that he would run into Grandpa, still in this place. Grandfather. Grandfather. Ivankov and Shang were shocked, they looked at the boss in disbelief. The eldest grandfather, he is still alive. This? How is this possible? The eldest grandpa is so old. Still alive? No way? Ivankov couldn't believe it, and didn't want to believe it. Shang remembers Chen Qingtian, the eldest grandpa. Well, there is one more person. Father Garp, son Luffy, and Grandpa in front of him. He wants to write down this message in a small notebook. Grandpa. Why are you here? Chen Qingtian took off his disguise, revealing his original appearance. The grandson is the grandson, he is smart, and he recognizes himself at a glance. Hey. Chen Qingtian sighed. Grandpa doesn't want to be here, isn't he going home? Your father kept calling and urging me to go back and let me take the child. Say yes, my dear grandson Dorag. I heard that your son Luffy also lost it to Garp, otherwise, he wouldn't have been urging me to go back. Haha, it turns out to be like this. Drago said awkwardly. Father is really disgusting. You need to help Grandpa with everything. Can't he take care of himself? I have to find you, Grandpa, even for a little thing. Really, next time I meet, I will definitely talk about him. Chen Qingtian rolled his eyes. Forget it, you. I don't know when the next time I go back. It's rare for this old man to enjoy life. It was hard to bring you up, and after enjoying it for a while, you made trouble for this old man. And this time I heard that it was not a child. The old man's life is really miserable. Hey. Dorag asked knowingly. What? More than one, who else? Keep pretending, Drago. I didn't, Grandpa. Don't you know? I wouldn't believe it even if I was killed. Ha ha.